have got the try! What a try for France!
Green was a striker, not a right winger.
Oh, Bruno! Oh, and it's 4-2. Lewandowski's got a hat-trick too, and it's in! And RB Leipzig have scored! Oh, and he has as well! Oh, and he went in!
Hey, who? Not John. I don't think it's John. Oh, it's not Hayden. It's
32-30! Oh my god! Wow! Oh, take a bow. I'm standing up.
Hello there and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live watch along of the US Open men's singles final. It's the final Grand Slam match of 2021. We're already at the end of the season, nearly of the Grand Slam season that is, and it is going to end off as it normally does in New York at our Farage Stadium for Novak Djokovic, the world number one, fighting for a record 21 Grand Slams and to, of course, complete the calendar season Grand Slam, which of course the last time was done was in 1976, while Daniil Medvedev, he's got something to prove as well. He's trying to go for his first ever Grand Slam win 2 years after he was a finalist to Rafael Nadal here on the same court at the US Open final. Can he do it this time though? We'll find out in the next we don't know how many hours this could go on for. It's a lot different compared to last night's final because you know exactly how long around 3 sets could be. But when it's a 5-setter, who knows? Will it go that way? Cara Davies is alongside me again, my sister from another mother. Cara, who are you thinking with this one? Because it's one of those finals where I think you actually do have the top two in the world right now, Djokovic and Medvedev. Medvedev's been winning things on the side. I think his most significant win was the ATP Finals last year when it was its final year at the O2 Arena. He beat Djokovic on the way. You know, he can do it. And I think, really, we've got quite an exciting fixture here with Medvedev, a little bit more experience from what happened 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's got the experience in these Grand Slam finals now. This is his third one after he got runner-up in Australia earlier in the year. And last time he got to this stage was, of course, in 2019, where he was again runner-up. So is this going to be the third time in a row that he's going to make runner-up? I mean, he's got something to prove now, hasn't he? And he's got that experience of being in finals. He's got that experience of beating the big players. It's just whether he can do that on one of the biggest stages in tennis, in a Grand Slam, in a best-of-5 set match against Djokovic. It could be impossible, but we never know. Anything's possible after last night.
Exactly, and maybe that is something Medvedev can look up to. I'm sure he must have watched a little bit of it, with him probably taking time out from training and probably nothing else to do in New York, when you may be having to quarantine as well, maybe. But anyway, there's a red carpet out. There's a few people holding the US flag. I think they're probably doing a ceremony as they did yesterday. Not sure if this is 9/11 related or if it's just the usual kind of ceremony they would have ahead of what is one of the biggest matches on the tennis calendar. Most likely singing the national anthem. I haven't got the audio on at the moment, so not really sure what's going on there. But you can have your say, folks, on the live poll on our live chat page by voting on who you think will win tonight's US Open, Djokovic or Medvedev. And let's have a quick look at that right now, shall we? And as you'd probably expect, a majority has gone towards the world number one at 80%, while only 20% of you, probably some of you from Russia, or wanting to believe of another underdog story this week of Medvedev with 20%. But I must admit, I'm going to go out there. Let's do predictions because it doesn't involve Raducanu anymore. So Cara doesn't have to worry about whether or not she's triggered a bad result or so. But anyway, while the national anthem and all that is happening, Cara, let's start off with you. What is your final prediction going to be?
I'm going to say, I didn't say a name last night and I still got it wrong. So I'm going to say Medvedev in 4.
In 4. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Medvedev in 5. Which would obviously mean it will be a marathon. It'll go all the way. But I think we've learned in the last few weeks last few days, that Djokovic has actually been dropping sets, which is fine. It's fine, but it shows maybe he's, it just shows how much work he has to do out there to still be able to come out on top still. He's getting a little bit older. He will start to get a bit slower in his game in due course, but he's still coming out on top. He went up to 5 sets with Zverev the other day, Cara, and Zverev has become a threat near the top of the rankings.
Yeah, he just didn't have enough left in the tank in the final set, losing that one 6-2. So I think the occasion and what's happened over the last couple of weeks with Zverev having won that gold medal, I think it's taken its toll.
Well, we're just pretty much ready to get going here. So do get in touch, folks, on our live chat page, like William Bryan has done by saying hi. Hello, William. Jamie Burgoyne says, tell Luke Tanner that Liverpool will finish below the top 4. Below, as in like third, second, or first, or are we talking above top 4 there, Jamie Burgoyne? In case people are wondering, Liverpool did win at Leeds United today, despite Harvey Elliott getting a nasty injury. But we've had quite a lot of sport on the channel today. It started off at 1 o'clock with the MotoGP race, which was won by, for the very first time, for Mr. Bagnaia, winning his first ever MotoGP race. Then we had a dramatic Italian Grand Prix with our mates of Jack Price and Connor Porter watching that one. It was a big crash between the two championship leaders of Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton on turn 1 and turn 2. And then we had the AC Milan Lazio match with Seb True. So it's been a busy day of sport. But I think really we've got to talk more about last night, Emma. Sorry, Cara. I'm getting used to calling everyone Emma now. Raducanu is clearly in my head. How have you processed it? Because I woke up this morning happy for her, but kind of like I'm used to it already. I don't know why. Maybe I was ready for this, because I did say throughout the week I think she could do it, and she did.
Yeah.
How have you felt?
Do you know what? I still feel like it didn't happen, but it did.
Grab a newspaper, Cara. It happened.
Yeah, like you wake up. I didn't really get much sleep last night, mainly because I was still buzzing for many hours after the end of the final. I don't think I went to bed until like 3, but I'm still shocked. But like you, I feel like I was ready to see that. Like she was so focused. She played a great match, and out of all the players that were in the women's singles draw, she just played the best. It doesn't matter about ranking. It doesn't matter if you rank number 1 in the world. It doesn't matter if you ranked 150 in the world. You can win Grand Slam no matter where you are. If you play smart and you think smart, you'll win.
Yeah, we've got Medvedev doing these pointless pre-match stuff before they come out through the tunnel onto the courts. That means we're just moments away for the start of this match. But I don't know, right? I mean, the news for Raducanu, when she comes back here, you'd think there'd be like a bus ceremony for her, because she'll no doubt have fans waiting for her back at Heathrow Airport. I'd imagine she'll land in the next few days.
She'll get like a hero's welcome, like like the Olympians usually do when they get back to the UK. I imagine something similar will be on standby for Emma, because I think she's probably one of the most high profile, sought after people in the UK right now.
But it's just the fact that even on the stage, when she was accepting the trophy, she just seemed so calm. Some players are so emotional. For some players, it's been a long journey. I'm not saying it hasn't been for Raducanu, but I mean, like, players win their first majors even a lot older than Raducanu, and sometimes they have to go through some painful matches, like a few Grand Slam finals, and be runners-up, like Andy Murray was a few times before he won a first major. And for Andy Murray, he was in tears pretty much when he won it. So I don't know why, she just seems to... She has the best therapist in the world, because that therapist, whoever it was, spoke to her 2 months ago after Wimbledon and said, believe that you're going to win the next major. And she was probably thinking first, nah, don't be stupid, come on. And then here we are. That therapist should get a bonus from that.
I think the main part that we can take from this is that she's got a really strong team around her. Yeah. So I think all the credit, apart from how she played last night, I think all the credit can really go to them, because if she hadn't have had the people around her after that fourth round at Wimbledon a couple of months ago, I think it was 68 days ago yesterday since we last seen her struggling to breathe, and then she does that. Yeah. So I think that's credit where credit's due to her team, because I don't think she would have gotten through these last couple of months and won a Grand Slam on only a second attempt.
I mean, I remember because I was working at the golf at the time, and I remember watching that match when she obviously pulled out. But I remember the day after there was that interview she had with Sue Barker on BBC from somewhere in London, and she was wearing an England shirt, getting ready for the England match and stuff like that. But like it was kind of like an apology to the nation, and I was just a bit like, don't owe us an apology, mate. You're 18 years old. No one heard of you. No one heard of you until this week. You've done better
than most of us would have done. It's like,
yeah.
I feel she thought at the time she owed it to everybody who'd supported her, but there was really no need. But it's a classic British thing, isn't it? Like apologising after every little thing, but she's got nothing to apologise for, and especially after last night.
No, I couldn't. I just remember that thinking, like, I remember watching bits of that and just thought, look, put it in your mindset that there's 4 majors a year, and there's one coming up. Just do your best. But I didn't think it'd be like this.
Well, I think I was reading some stats last night before I went to bed, and I think this is only her second attempt at a Grand Slam, and she's the first person, I think, in the Open era to have won a Grand Slam on their second attempt.
Yeah. I mean, I can't remember her name, the winner back in 2019. That was her first appearance at the US, wasn't it?
Yeah, Bianca Andreescu.
Yeah. Which I'm sure, I don't know how old she is, but I'm sure she had a lot of majors before that. But, yeah, in terms of first appearance at the US Open, Raducanu's matched that with somebody else. But still, the fact that Raducanu can say that she won, I mean, it's one of those, isn't it? Retire now, and you can just talk about that story forever. Anything after that is a bonus in my eyes. I mean, that's what's so exciting. There's so much we're going to get from her, and it's just all about now, for me, it's staying on top, focusing on each match as it comes, as she has done, and to basically try and stay injury-free, which is an absolute gift for a player that could do that.
Yeah, and as well, I think even though I know she's won a Grand Slam so early on in her career, I still feel that she's still got nothing to prove. She's still got, she can still, she doesn't have to prove herself. I feel like she's still ranked in, top 150. So
yeah,
I still feel that she hasn't got anything to prove. She can come to these tournaments now without having to get a wild card, without having to qualify. And she can just play as free as she likes, because she's not played in Australia before on the main tour. She's not played French Open on the main tour. So really, there's nothing to prove in those 2 events either.
It does seem a bit crazy, though, how you could just win a handful of matches and then go up by 100 odd places. Which, I'm not questioning the system, but it obviously comes down to how many points you collect per match. Because I don't know if it's like that in the WTA, but the ATP, you get 2,000 points for winning a Grand Slam.
Yeah, I read something about this last night, actually. I think I saved the tweet, but I don't know where it's gone.
Look at this.
About how many points she won for... She got extra points. She got the points for winning, and she got extra points because she was a qualifier, and she got to the final and won. So I think there was an extra 700 points because she was a qualifier who made it through to the final. And then she obviously got all those points for winning it, which is now, you can see that she's risen to number 23 in the world.
They've just shown Novak Djokovic's basic stats, and is I didn't realise how far up it's gone, because I remember when he reached the 100 million mark in terms of his prize money. It's now up to 151.8 million, which is, I think that's the most a tennis player's ever made in career prize money, because it was Federer that set the benchmark. Then Djokovic became the first player to reach the 100 mark, I think. So
yeah, he's definitely got a few quid, hasn't he?
Well, let's just say if I saw him at the bar, I'd be annoyed if he didn't pay for a round.
If he didn't offer to buy a drink,
Yeah, I'd be a bit like. I mean, I'd obviously pay him back a round just to go. Yeah, fair enough. Doesn't matter how much you have, but I expect you to buy me a round.
Yeah, it's like then you can say that you bought Novak Djokovic a pint at the pub.
Yeah, that's the thing. I always think, like, if I see an athlete or someone who I admire who's a celebrity at a local bar, and I spoke to them, that's the thing. I'd actually be like, no, I want to buy you a drink.
Yeah,
even though you're the one who's probably got a lot more. Yeah,
you got about £2 in the bank, but I will spend it on you.
I mean, I can't remember
scratchings or something.
I can't remember the actor's name. When I was in Richmond in London, I went to the pub first thing on a Saturday. I'm not an alcoholic. It was the Rugby World Cup final in 2019, and obviously every Englishman went out to watch it because it was on in Japan. So obviously the match was on early in the morning for us English, and I can't remember his name now. But he was in Grantchester, and he's known for his fishing. He's an actor. I can't remember his name. But he was at the pub, and I bought him a pint. We actually spoke for. I only saw him. I bumped into him at full time when people were leaving, so you could see quite a few last people. And he was at the bar, and I was just buying a drink. Then he was there, and we spoke for ages. Ended up having a pint with him. Lovely bloke. Sadly, never got his number or anything, but. You know, he still let me buy him a pint. He didn't buy me one back, though, the bastard. Anyway, let's talk more about tennis and not my personal life at the bar. It is a great place.
I found a tweet that I found yesterday from Ben Rothenberg. He tweeted last night, Emma Raducanu earned 40 ranking points for her US Open qualies wins. Thus, her 2,040 ranking points for winning the US Open as a qualifier is the most ranking points a player has ever earned from a single tournament. So more history made there.
Well, Jais Cavaro's watching on in the stands, as you'd expect, because he is Daniil Medvedev's coach. Now, if you are watching the match wherever you are, and you haven't seen him before, he's got to be one of the most calmest coaches in the world. He's definitely got a bond with Daniil Medvedev from what I can remember at the ATP finals. There was definitely, because there was no one in the arena, you could hear the words that were being said. And you could tell with Cavaro, sometimes he would just be there to kind of maybe just put his hand on Medvedev's shoulder, just go, calm down, everything's going well, don't worry. And, you know, I think he should take some credit, because Daniil Medvedev, I'd say in those last 2 years, he's developed very well. And in the summer of 2019, Cara, when he had that American trip, he was winning everything. And then he got to the US Open
he couldn't
final.
be stopped until he got to the final, of course. But I think he can look back on that now. I think he's learnt from those experiences. This is not his first time at the rodeo, as it is. This is his third time. So we'll see if it is really third time lucky for Daniil Medvedev. I truly believe it is.
Well, I've said it, you've said it, and I'm going to go for a big win for Medvedev. Not as in he'll thrash him or anything, God no, I wish. But I reckon it could be a very, very good match indeed. Anyway, we're about to begin. I'm just going to try and find the crowd noise. There is a few messages, Cara, if you want to read them out.
Yeah, we've got Greg's put, hi Jamie and Cara, how's your day been? Mine has been very busy.
I was going to say, actually, what's it been like at the tennis centre? Because you predicted last night it was going to be absolutely manic.
Do you know what? We had loads of people come in and book courts, and we have like a kids program that we've got on a Sunday. And some man come in earlier this morning, and he come to pay for a racket restring, and he was like, "Have you had any more girls signing up after what happened last night?" And I was like, "What? What happened last night?" And he was like, "The tennis." I was like, "Oh my God, how stupid am I?"
I thought you were tricking him. Like, what are you on about? Nothing happened.
I honestly didn't know what he was on about. I was like, this sounds a bit dodgy. I'm not a human trafficker. And I didn't click. I didn't click that he was talking about the tennis.
That is funny.
Who else have we got? We've got Box, I think that's how you pronounce it. Let's go Medvedev. Alberto says, hiya, where are you based?
We are based in New York. We're watching from the hospitality boxes.
Yeah, we're actually in the hospitality booth.
Yeah, we've been here
on
all week.
Arthur Ashe Stadium. Can you not tell?
I wish. We're based in England. Oh, actually, no, you're in Wales, aren't you, Cara?
Yeah, but I'm in the least Welsh part, so you might as well call it England.
If you're in Wales, so you're still in Wales. in
Yeah, I'm still Welsh, but in the English part.
Well, we've got ourselves with Medvedev, Djokovic. That's doing the first service game. He's currently leading 30-15. He's on the top end of the court with Medvedev on the bottom. But Medvedev was long there, so that helps Djokovic lead the game. Djokovic is normally known from, I can remember in his past, maybe not as good as he used to be, he loved breaking serve very early on in the opening set.
Yeah, I think now, though, especially like with the last couple of tournaments we've seen him get off to a really slow start. Like, there's only been one match all tournament, and that was in the second round, where he managed to win in straight sets. In the other matches that he's played, he's dropped at least one set.
Yeah, because Nishikori, that went to 4 sets. The match against Zverev went to 5 sets. But I think that's fair enough, because Zverev is going to be a Grand Slam contender, and he pretty much was. He got to the semis, and he won Wimbledon recently, so he's there. But I do think Djokovic knows that. I'm not saying he's dying out as a player. He's still the best in the world. But I think he knows at some point there will be a moment where he can't do every tournament each year. It has to be, a fixed calendar. And we've talked about this a few years ago about Roger Federer.
Yeah, I think Djokovic needs to kind of enjoy this time where he's not having to skip certain tournaments, because we've seen Roger Federer not play at the French Open until this year for many years prior, just because it wasn't his best event. He wanted to put all of his efforts into Wimbledon, so he'd skip the French Open. So I think while Djokovic is at full fitness, he's obviously taking advantage, but I think there will be a time in the future where we do see him maybe take some tactical decisions to skip tournaments. But the case would be, which is Djokovic's weakest tournament? Because you'd say the French Open, but he's won it. So
he's won it twice now. It's not even the once. I mean, Federer only won it once, and clay court for a lot of players has always been tricky, especially in this era where it's been dominated by Rafael Nadal. Box says, Jamie, you look like a fellow Fed fan.
Ooh.
I am a Federer fan, so you're right. What makes you say that, though? Is it my tone of voice towards Djokovic? Probably. I like Djokovic. I just think I don't know. Why is he so evil towards fans? Is it his fault? Is it because he came a bit later than Nadal and Federer when they started to dominate? I mean, it's like that with Murray, isn't it? Really, Murray wasn't really hated, but I don't know. I don't know how the world saw Andy Murray, really.
Yeah, I mean, with Djokovic, it's a bit like, is it unfortunate timing with the era of what champions that he's been playing against over the last decade and a bit? I think it's just nobody wants to like Djokovic more than Federer and Nadal.
Yeah. Just
because they're such great champions, they don't like to see them lose. But I don't know. I mean, I don't mind Djokovic. He's a great player, but I don't. Sometimes I think he tries too hard, and I think that's why people have maybe not warmed to him.
Wow,
and some of the controversial things that have gone on, especially during last year's US Open with the poor lines judge. Thankfully, none are here this year, so that's not going to be an issue.
Well, this is quite a moment because we've got a break point for Medvedev in this opening game. So first break point of the match, and can Medvedev be clinical here? It's Djokovic's serve down the middle. It hits the net, and he'll have to try again. But funny enough, we were saying I kept stressing last night that Raducanu was not clinical when it came to the break points, and the stats will tell you that. But she still got there at the end. She created a lot of break point opportunities, that's for sure.
Yeah,
and Djokovic has hit it wide, and Medvedev has broke the serve. So a good start, and already the fist pump is out from the Russian. It's exactly the start he would have wanted, and going into his first service game, he leads 1-0, Cara.
Great start, isn't it? I mean, you can't write Djokovic off, though, just because of the amount of start. Half of the year, he's been losing. He could lose the opening set and still come back to win, which is what we've seen a lot this week. He lost the opening set against Kei Nishikori in the tiebreak, comes back to win. He lost the opening set against Brooksby, come back to win. And then he played 5 sets against Zverev in the semi-final, won. So I think this means nothing at the moment. I'd say if Djokovic went 2 sets to love down and Medvedev was in a winning position in the third set, then
Daniil Medvedev.
Even from that position, though, Medvedev could still lose. But you just can't write Novak Djokovic off. He's like a brick wall. He's basically Spider-Man.
They just showed the difference between the time spent on court in this tournament between Medvedev and Djokovic. Medvedev was around over 11 hours, while Djokovic was over 17 hours, which I didn't know. But, the match against Zverev the other night certainly wouldn't have helped that. But Medvedev with his first ace of the game there to make it 30-love. I just love the way he holds the racket as well. I don't know why. He holds the bottom end of the handle, which I don't know why. I've noticed that with him. He just seems to control it so well. I feel he's got an old-fashioned style with a modern twist, because we don't really see a lot of players these days play like Medvedev, but in some ways he manages to make his game modern. He's got such a unique style, but I like it. It works. Our current poll says that Djokovic is 88% compared to Medvedev's 12% after 84 votes. If you haven't yet, do vote on the poll, folks. Let us know who you think will win the US Open, and of course, get in touch on our live chat page. We've got Tina, Karen saying Ajmo Noli, which I think is something to do with Novak Djokovic. Apologies.
I think that means from my little language knowledge of it, having only can speak 2, I think that means come on Djokovic.
Yeah, because the Noel's definitely Novak, isn't it?
Yeah, come on. Hang on, let me read the comment. Yeah, it means come on Nole, come on Novak.
So Novak Djokovic 2-love down. Medvedev holds the serve.
This is something as well, because on service games, Novak Djokovic bounces the ball about 1,600 times before he serves.
He does, doesn't he? It's like basketball.
Whereas Medvedev has quick service points. It doesn't matter what happens in the point, whether he wins or loses. He's getting the ball off the ball pin. He's up at the baseline, ready to serve again. I just don't think Medvedev takes any shit. I mean, they show like the ATP Tennis TV YouTube channel's great, because they like to do a bit of top 10 meltdowns and stuff like that. I was watching some the other day. We'll talk about that in a minute. Djokovic, love 15 down. First serve as a fault as it hit the net and then went off the court. Ended up in one of the sound operators there, I think, for the TV cameras. Poor lady. Oh, and he's done it again, and it's a double fault. Love 30, and Djokovic at the moment, his hands are cold. He's just not warmed up yet here at the off-fresh. The cameras are focused on his coaches watching by, but they're just giving him a clap and a bit of support. And it's nice to see some of the crowd as well, just cheer and all that. I'm not sure if that's towards Medvedev, but, I'm sure it's towards both players, to be honest. And that no one wants to see a one-sided final. It's early days, of course, as Cara stresses. Djokovic is known for he's at least getting a couple of sets in, so this is why I think this could be a 5-setter. Do you think this is Novak Djokovic we've seen the last couple of matches who's having a slow start, or do you think this is nerves? Because if he wins today, he's got 21 Grand Slams. Nobody's ever done that before.
Yeah, but I think it's also the calendar slam. I think that's what's the real pressure, because that is so hard. I think the 21 will happen for him at some point, whether it's today or, I mean, look, he loves Australia. Australia is his baby, along with Wimbledon.
That was his first ever Grand Slam, wasn't it?
It is, and he's the most successful men's player at the Australian Open. So I'll put him favourite straight away as long as he's up for it.
Yeah.
And of course, who knows? I mean, it's funny. Rod Laver is there tonight here at Arthur Ashe. He's wearing his Laver Cup merchandise cap. Anything to promote the. Well, I think it's this month. They normally have it in September, the Laver Cup, which is of course between. What was it? Is it the rest? Yes, the rest of the world versus Europe. So the world versus which I've enjoyed the last few tournaments they've done of that. It's basically like the Ryder Cup or the Solheim Cup in golf. But yeah, Rod Laver wearing that cap to promote it. He was the last man to do a calendar Grand Slam in 1976, and we have a double break point here. Cara Djokovic under real pressure in this opening set.
Not a great start, is it? But I think we can say it's a classic Djokovic, can't we? He goes down early in the first set. He may even go on to lose the first set, but it means nothing because there's another 3-4 sets left in the match to play.
Well, he's just saved a point there. He made Medvedev go quite far to his right to return the serve, which left open for him to just hit the ball past him on the court. Nice serve that was. Oh, Medvedev's got there, but he should win the point. Yeah, and he's back at deuce. So good recovery there. He knew that was important. His wife watching on next to his coaches. Jelena, her name, isn't it?
Yeah, Jelena, yeah.
Jelena, sorry. Silent J.
Jelena Djokovic.
Which, of course, she's been with Djokovic for a long time now, ever since I can remember when watching Novak on the courts. Kind of the same with Nadal and Federer's girlfriends, misses and all that, because you feel like, because they have to see the world and play tennis all the time, they probably go, I haven't got much time, whoever I fancy straight away, and then they can come with me. Do you want to see the world? Yeah, all right then. Come see the plane.
Do you come see me play tennis? Yeah, okay. Oh, I've won a Grand Slam now, so you're going to have to come with me to every other tournament that I play.
Yeah.
In the future.
All expenses paid. I can afford it now.
Yeah, I'm a multi-millionaire.
Well, Djokovic, fair play to him. He's recovered well there and has won the game, which he needed to get that sorted, didn't he, Cara? Because I think if he went 3-love down ahead of a Medvedev serve, you'd probably straight away think that the first set might have already been conceded.
Yeah, this is, it kind of gets me. Like the other day when he was playing against Brooksby, and he only won one game in that first set, and I feel that he needed to get this game on the board in that service game because Medvedev is in a different league to Brooksby. Brooksby very much at the start of his career, very inexperienced in Grand Slams. And I think Djokovic needs to realise that, I think he has realised, who he's up against now. He can't afford to be going down early breaks. He can't afford to be going down 2 breaks to serve in the first 3 games. So I think that's a confidence boost for him, getting the game on the board, being aggressive, and coming back from a deficit as well.
Box says, imagine keeping up with Boris Becker's girlfriends. You wouldn't have enough fingers. Yeah. He's an animal. He's an animal, Box, but we love him. Of course, any girlfriend will do. Instead of the famous quote that me and Cara love, which was any point will do. But
Good one. I like that one. I like that one.
But I might be wrong, Box, but I'm sure his first son, well, I don't know, it might be his only kid, I don't know. But I'm sure, of course, the tabloid papers would love to report it. But years ago, apparently, he had a fling with a girl, and it was in a cupboard, and they believe that that's where his son came from. So I don't know if that's true. I read it. It was quite amusing when I read it. Don't know if it's true. As I said, tabloid newspapers, they'll do anything.
And we do not want to be sued.
Yes, exactly. But look, Boris Becker's a legend, the youngest male player to ever win Wimbledon. I say we'll probably never see it. I never thought I'd see an 18-year-old win the US Open yesterday, so you never know. Could Raducanu win Wimbledon next year? I'll say this now, the ticket sales, as long as she's fit for that tournament, the sales at Wimbledon are going to go crazy.
Do you know what's really sad now, though? Because before kind of everything's kicked off, she was playing some of her matches on the outdoor courts at Wimbledon this year. And I think next year it's going to be really sad because for the people who just get ground passes, they're not going to be able to see her because more than likely she will play majority of her matches on centre court and 1. So she's not going to be on these smaller courts like court 12.
It's so true. I mean, I remember my first ever Wimbledon trip was 2013. And I only was able to be on the outside courts. I really enjoyed it because you do see a lot of tennis, especially, first week of the tournament. We'd always go first week. But again, it was a ballot. It's like a lottery. You don't really know what ticket you're going to get. They just give you one and then you hope to be available for it. And it was the fact that, Murray would not play on it. You wouldn't get Federer, anyone or any of them on it. Always the stadium, the grounds would just not be too big for the crowds that would want to see them. So yeah, it will be sad, but at the end of the day, you might see another up and comer. Who knows? I remember once seeing Sabine Lisicki on court 2, I think it was, and Sabine Lisicki's my favourite ever female tennis player. So she's an absolute legend, and I'm still gutted she didn't win Wimbledon when she lost to Marion Bartelli. But
I see her in qualifying 2019. She got to, I think it was the second round of qualifying and lost in the last round to get to the main draw, and she was gutted. She was so heartbroken. It was horrible to see.
What else happened to her?
I think it's just lack of form, and I don't know if she got injured at some point, but my theory is because majority of the people that's ended up in the Wimbledon final curse the Wimbledon finalists.
Yeah,
isn't it? Whereas like Eugenie Bouchard, I know she's been injured and she's been doing some stuff too much after getting to that Wimbledon final in, was it 2012? 13. She's not really done much since then, and and then Sabine Lisicki as well. It's a shame because I really like watching Lisicki.
Apologies, folks, if you've seen our. Sorry about this, folks. I'm not sure why, but our Wi-Fi just for some reason has decided to completely shut down.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now, right? Sorry about this, folks. Just my Wi-Fi, I think. It is buffering at the moment, and I've currently got our stream just literally buffering. Oh, everything's literally just shut down. Oh, what's it doing? Oh. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Hopefully you can still hear me. Cara's back. I think we're good to go again, so sorry about that. That's what happens when you don't have good Wi-Fi sometimes. If only we had the technology of BBC, maybe. Or we relied on satellites. But, yeah. We're back to it, I think. It's 3-2 to Medvedev. Djokovic nailed it with his last service game there, but Medvedev nailed it in his last service game, and he's currently 15-love up here already. Which, his serve game, Cara, is so strong to watch.
Yeah, I like the fact that he doesn't take too much time between points. He kind of goes to his pace rather than take his time, go through the motions. I think the style is quick, fast points, just to conserve a bit of energy. And it's really nice to see. He's got a great serve. It's also good to see the number 1 and number 2 in the final as well.
I was going to say, we haven't seen much of that recently, if I can remember rightly.
No, because we got Berrettini got to the Wimbledon final. He's obviously not a number 2 in the world at that time.
Oh, Medvedev's doing some great forehands again. Djokovic having to react to it with his 2-hand backhand. And, I think, was Medvedev long there? I think he was, yes. So, 40-15 still for Medvedev, though. So, still a 2-point gap between the two. Djokovic having to take a bit of a big breath after that rally. I think it just shows what Medvedev's forehand can be like to deal with. Ooh, he's lobbed it. He should get that. Oh, Djokovic ain't giving up, though. And that time he won't get that one. A couple of overhead shots there for Medvedev. But he still gets
Great
the point.
anticipation from Djokovic.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll say this now. He knows he's going to lose the point. But I think you've got to always keep going, because maybe it's a good sign to your opponent as well to just go, I ain't giving up.
Yeah, and sometimes with these shots where you don't know where they're going and it's just guesswork, it's 50-50, isn't it? If you maybe say, I'm just going to stay in the right-hand side of the court and anticipate the shot coming here, there's a 50% success rate. So there's only a half chance that you could get it wrong. And Djokovic got it right the first time, but wasn't able to get over the line on the second.
Was it Medvedev just hit the net there on the first point of Djokovic's serve on the 7th game? Makes the serve down across to Medvedev's left. Now Medvedev with the backhand, and Djokovic is on the net now. Goes over him, and Medvedev was going for the ball, and he went across it, and then there was no chance of him. There was no back behind the ball, and that's a point again for Djokovic, which of course Djokovic, let's not forget, he's a serve down, so he needs to break Medvedev if he's going to come back in this opening set. But as we all know, Djokovic, he's not shy of playing longer matches. But neither's Medvedev. Medvedev, though, let's not forget, was 2 sets up against Nadal 2 years ago in this US Open final. And despite the fact that he looked certain to go and win his first Grand Slam, the heroics of Rafael Nadal came in that night as it was under the floodlights. That's how late it got. Because it's currently 20-5 New York time. So, yep, the sun is still out. Still, of course, light during the day. And obviously after this tournament, we've got pretty much the road to Milan, which is for the ATP finals in November. So only the top 8 qualify in the men's ATP rankings. And of course, we'll have to check it. We didn't check it last night, but it'd be interesting to see where they have the WTA finals this year, if Singapore isn't to have these sporting events at the moment.
Let me just have a look. That's reminded me, actually, to have a look.
40-15 Djokovic. You wouldn't want to see Medvedev come back from here.
So it says the women's tournament to be held at Shenzhen Bay Sports Center in Shenzhen, China.
Yeah, it's China. I think they've had some
So-
Shenzhen Open in the past.
New balls, please. Medvedev leads 4
So
games to 3 for a
hopefully
set.
they're able to get that contested this year.
Well, Djokovic held his serve. And he is trailing this first set by 4-3. showing some footage of. Oh, I think it's the. Might be the wheelchair champions, because they've got trophies in their hands. Who were in the stands, getting applauded.
Oh yeah, Dylan Alcott and I think it's Didi de Groot. They both completed the Golden Slam, didn't they?
Oh yes.
And then we've got Paul Reed and Alfie Hewitt winning their. Is it their fifth US Open?
He's putting his what's he doing? He's got it all over his jacket. He's put Heineken in his trophy. He's downed it. Put the trophy on his head, and
he's a great character.
He's got Heineken all over his new Nike jacket.
When I watched his final at Wimbledon this year, like he's such a character because after every point, he was like, "Come on!" He was so animated. I think he's brilliant. I love Dylan Alcott, and what he's done in tennis is incredible.
And wheelchair tennis does not look easy, folks.
No,
the
it
fact
isn't.
that they have to move round with their wheelchair and then hit the ball and be in the right place at the right time just shows how much work there is to be done. There's actually crowds shouting for Novak, I think, saying Novak, Novak. So there's quite a lot of Americans and fans there that would love to see Djokovic make history tonight.
It's nice to see that the crowd are warming to him, though.
Please.
Yeah. I mean, this is the
Especially
thing.
given what happened last year. I know we've referenced it quite a lot, but
I think it probably helped in that that there was no fans there that last year. There's a lot of well-known actors in the stand. Ben Stiller is there. The guy who was in, was it that robot show? Or was in that Queen film. What was his name? Forgot his name. Great actor.
no, I don't know.
He's a villain in the new James Bond film. I can't remember.
I don't really watch films, to be honest. So
It's been a while since. Yeah, I know what you mean. Cinemas
14
I've not
love.
really been to, even during lockdowns and stuff. I've not been to since. We got Kirsty Stanton saying yo. Hello, Kirsty. Hope you're well. Did you play for your women's team today, Kirsty?
First service.
If I can remember rightly, you said you played for the Hibs team. Medvedev's serve has just been top notch. He's 40 love up here. Will he go for an ace? He does. He's so good at his serve. He just takes no nonsense whatsoever. Makes it strike down the right, and Djokovic hardly moved a muscle.
Medvedev leads
And
5
so,
games to
big
3.
moment here for Djokovic,
set.
because if he loses his serve, Medvedev will win the opening set. And this
and
match
that
is
feels
only
really
23
quick
minutes
as well.
old. What's that?
It doesn't feel after long as well, does it? It feels like we've literally been watching this for about 10 minutes. I know
Yeah,
it's not,
gone.
but-
It's gone quick. I might be wrong, but I'm sure I'm reading the clock. Either 23 minutes or 29. The clock is quite far away from where I'm watching.
28 minutes match has been on for.
28 minutes.
So less than half an hour. Definitely longer than 10 minutes.
It does feel like that, that's for sure. And Djokovic hits the net on this first point. Not a good start for the Serb.
Love 15.
But that
think
Raducanu
Medvedev's-
match last night was so good to watch, though. It's mad to think that it was straight sets. It still feels like it was 3 sets.
I still can't speak on that.
We do have a clip on the YouTube channel of when the moment she won it, which saw Cara have a few tears, that's for sure.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff.
18 on.
Like, it's literally just because I never thought we'd see that happen.
I can't believe it. It'll be one of those where I don't think you'll ever believe it, because, as I said, it reminds me of Leicester winning the Prem. It's just a miracle. And I'd love to know if there was any odds of what the odds were for Raducanu winning the US Open at the start of the tournament. Because
I know.
that would have been someone hasn't published that. There must have been some
13,
odds
15.
from a British perspective.
Let's have a look. It's got Raducanu. Oops. odds to win US Open? She was at 499 to 1 to win the US Open.
That's nothing compared to Leicester. Leicester was 5,000 to 1, I think. And people won a lot of money. There were even people cashing out when they nearly won the league, and I'm thinking, you may as well go the whole hog.
30 all.
It's 30 all at the moment. Unforced errors. Look at this. Djokovic 10, Medvedev 5.
It says here, with the bookmakers giving Raducanu odds of 499 to 1 to win the US Open, her victory is seen as unparalleled for a young British athlete. Raducanu was presented with a letter from the Queen praising her tweet immediately after she completed her straight sets victory in the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Oh, it's a let first service. I thought Djokovic made a double fault or something there. But Djokovic 30 all at the moment. Oh, Medvedev, what a return. Oh, shame about his backhand though. Djokovic approached the net and then Medvedev hit the net. Oh, great return.
40.
Amazing, he nearly converted it to his own point there. I think he stunned Djokovic, really. I don't think Djokovic expected the Russian to make that.
No, I don't think he was expecting to play that ball, but he was, at the same time, he was ready for it.
I mean, look at this already. Medvedev is literally next to the wall waiting for this first serve from Djokovic. It's weird how some players approach it. Oh, he's hit it long though, Medvedev. And Djokovic does hold his serve to keep the set going. But in just a moment, it'll be Medvedev to serve for the opening set. Can he do it, Carl? Because his serve game has been very strong so far, and he's not to let Djokovic have many opportunities.
I'm pretty confident that he will hold and win the first set, but my thoughts on that one are he would have rather have got that first set wrapped up off the Djokovic serve, just so then he would have had the first serve advantage going into the second.
Of course, yeah, there is that. I always forget about that. Nice sunset coming down on New York, it looks like, especially over Flushing Meadows and the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Lots of tennis courts that were used throughout the week are now very empty. It's always weird when you see all these courts completely empty when it comes to the final day of a tournament, especially a Grand Slam. But of course, the US Open will, as always, will be back next year. We've got Australian Open. Hopefully, that'll be back in January. We had that in February this year. It was a bit later, and obviously, Cara, from what we can remember, the organisation was quite a mess. You know, all the players who got there had to quarantine for 2 weeks, I think. And then there were some that were positive even after all that, I think.
It was tough, wasn't it? Especially for people who'd gone out there, quarantined, and then tested positive after doing all that. But these are the times and situations that we've got to get used to now, especially for the moment. I know that there's solutions to try and, with the vaccine, to try and get people vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus, but it's one of the it's a thing of nature, I suppose. You can't help it. It's one of those. At some point, you're gonna maybe be faced with it. Other times, you may get lucky and not. But we've seen a lot of players quarantining in the hotels, hitting balls against the wall, against the bed, and seeing their workout routines, which is I found that quite entertaining. They made light of a tough situation.
I mean, imagine if this was 20, 30 years ago. You know, you don't have a phone, you don't have tablet, stuff like that. In terms of killing time, you'd have been very bored.
Yeah, read the newspaper.
Yeah, or rely on a Game Boy Color. Look.
Oh, Game Boy. Tamagotchi or something.
Yeah. Those were the days. Medvedev's serves game has just been spot on. He's 40 love. Oh no, it's 30-15, sorry. Must have made a double fault. I thought he aced it again, but no. His first double fault of the match. And his coach and his partner watching on. You can't tell
Players
from
are ready,
his
thank you.
partner's emotions because she's wearing a mask. That's what's been really weird about masks. You try and recognise people and try and recognise if they're happy or not.
I know he did a double fault there, but he's hit 7 aces so far.
14.
7 aces to 1 double fault is a good start.
In one set. Double set point. Big moment this for Medvedev. He wants to prove he can take them. Oh, well, I say take them. He's just absolutely blitzed it across to the right-hand side. And there's that fist pump again. Medvedev, well, he's 2 sets away from a Grand Slam. Will it be easy from now on? I'm not sure. We had one serve game broken, and that was, of course, Medvedev against Djokovic there. But let's look at the stats of set 1 once the screen does come up. Will it? I don't think it will. Come on, come up. No,
I've got some stats here. I've got the stats in front of me right now.
Go on then. You read them out, Cara.
So Medvedev, ace count 8, double faults 1, first serve percentage at 65%. But this is where the numbers get really juicy because win percentage on first serves 100% for Medvedev. Isn't that a great stat? 15 out of 15 points won on the first serve compared to Djokovic 15 out of 17.
15 out of 15.
15 points out of 15 points. 15 points won out of 15 on win percentage on first serve.
That's a great start, but that just shows how good his service game has been. And if he carries on like that, Medvedev, Djokovic has to change something because that's what it comes down to in these matches.
And as well, on the receiving points won, I know against Djokovic you're going to have a low percentage, but 35% for Medvedev on receiving points won, but only 13 from Djokovic.
We've got Greg Livingston asking, what have I missed, guys? I had fallen asleep. What do you mean you've fallen asleep? It's the final Grand Slam final of the year, Greg. I mean, dilly ding, dilly dong, come on.
Yeah.
Terrible. Terrible, man. No, I'm only joking. Well, what you have missed is that Djokovic has won the opening set. And at the moment... Djokovic has lost the opening set. And Medvedev is making sure at the moment he doesn't get that calendar Grand Slam and a record of 21 Grand Slams in men's tennis. But of course, if we're going to compare it to women's, Steffi Graf has the most Grand Slams, and that's 24? Or was it 23?
23, I think that is.
Yeah. But there's another player, isn't there? Margaret Court, is it, that was up there?
There was Steffi, there was Martina,
Players are
and
ready,
there
thank
was Chrissy Everett.
But one thing I can tell you is that
Djokovic
Raducanu has one.
to serve.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Come home!
British perspective. Oh, it definitely helps me get over the Euros defeat. We all thought there might have been a sports personality from that Euro squad, but instead it's definitely Emma Raducanu. Try and challenge me on that because I don't think there's anybody else that comes close. Maybe one of the
especially what she's managed to do.
Yeah.
You know, every sports person has a case for sports personality of the year, but I think Raducanu's one of the special cases where you kind of favour her to win that as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because in terms of between now and the end of the year, you've got, I mean, Raducanu's got, you know, still the rest of the tennis season to go. She might win more trophies. Who knows? I think that's what's going to be really exciting. Is her first tournament back after the US Open to just see how she handles it after all the celebrations and the media attention. And, well, basically, as I think Tim Henman said it spot on last night, which was she's going to have to make a few changes and, you know, her whole life will be different. And it's all about how
life
she
is never
handles
going to
it.
be the same, is it?
No.
40-11.
Mac Brown Technology says, you guys are so wicked. Oh, thanks, Mac Brown. Also asks, why can't you connect us to the live game than showing us your faces? because our faces are more beautiful than Djokovic and Medvedev. Who wants to see two sweaty faces on a tennis court?
When you could see us.
Exactly. Always kept it in with the lob, has he? Oh no, it is out. It is out. So it's the automatic system. To be honest, McBrown, it's due to copyright. We could, yes, I could show you the match, but then we'd be in trouble.
First game.
Sadly, we don't have an
Second
agreement
set.
in place, so we do this instead. This is the closest we get. We've got the crowd noise and all that going on from the stadium for you. The live scoreboard below us. The court tracker on the right-hand side as well. So we do our best. There's a big chant going on in the stadium, which you don't normally hear in a stadium when it comes to tennis. But there are
It
some
depends who's playing. I mean, either Djokovic or Medvedev, it's not like, like a Kyrgios, where Kyrgios is kind of commanding the crowd, or a Fernandez, who the crowd are just cheering for all week long. I think these are two players that you don't really hear the whole stadium chanting, chanting their name for a good few minutes.
I mean, I've been to some where I remember when I went. I remember going to the ATP finals and I saw Federer Djokovic, and that was amazing. Federer beat him as well, so that was nice to watch. That was in 2019. Yes, 2019. And it was the fact that it was the chants that you hear, but it was the same old chants from the Federer lot saying, let's go, Roger, let's go, clap, clap. And I'm like, oh, come on with something new. Oh, Medvedev's hit it wide.
Wow.
He has, and oh dear. And look, you can hear the fans. There is a big cheer. I didn't expect this towards Djokovic, but
he had such a big core of the court free as well. He didn't need to go.
No,
my guess was he was thinking he needs to get close to the line, because if Djokovic guessed where he would go in, he would have got to it. So Medvedev was thinking, I need to hit this as close to the line as possible, and then it ended up going out.
Well, luckily Medvedev, for him, he's been able to get a point back, but still needs to win the next two.
When players are ready to serve,
And the chair umpire's just telling the fans to just not cheer loudly during the points. Break point number 2.
I'd love to know what the umpires are really wanting to say. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, shut up.
30-40.
Or piss off.
If you're going to be rowdy, please do it somewhere else. Not on the court, thank you.
Break point number 3. Medvedev got an ace just then. Oh, he's a bit long with that first serve. He'll try again. But yeah, it's Medvedev might just come back here and avoid giving away a break point to Djokovic. Let's see how this rally goes first. Bit of backhand tennis between the two so far. Both of them two-handed. Down the middle of the court now. Now they switch to forehands. Now Djokovic is backhand in the middle. And he's hit the net. Tried to slice it, but no good. And Medvedev has returned it nicely. He was 40 down. But it's back to deuce. And that last rally was 13 shots. It was a tense moment for Medvedev, but he held on.
Those were the first couple of break points that Djokovic has had in this match so far.
Yes.
Medvedev able to hold him off.
Yeah. And Djokovic has hit his like slapped his leg and himself a bit there. Oh, Medvedev ace. Down the middle. I never get tired of watching. I just never get tired of watching them. It's so good.
Double figures now, 10 aces.
And Djokovic has 4. That ace speed was 129 miles per hour, which me and Cara have mainly been watching Raducanu's progress this week. So, we know men's tennis has faster serves, don't we? We know they hit it better. So we didn't see those numbers with Raducanu. But Medvedev has won the game there, and he holds his serve, so it's 1-1 in the second set.
1 game on.
Good hold from Medvedev, though, wasn't it?
They've got a guy, they've just had a shot of a guy with a cap, sunglasses, and a mask on. He looked like the Invisible Man.
I can see him now, yeah, he's just kind of faded into the background, yet he still managed to get the cameras pointed at him. So I don't know who he is for the cameras to have
Recognised him.
Somebody who doesn't want to be noticed.
They say The Invisible Man used to be a TV show from ages ago. I can't find it. No. I don't know why I'm Googling this when there's a big match going on, but...
It's like that woman yesterday on her phone during the women's final.
Oh, God, yeah. It's like, why are you there? You're missing it.
She's just like, oh my God. She's literally just like... It's like, mate, this is about to be made right here on the court, and you're on your phone.
Adam Medhurst.
Do it in the changeovers.
Yeah. Oh, Djokovic hits the net there. It'll be 15-all. Adam Medhurst says, you both do great. Lovely evening here in New York City. Thanks, Adam. How is New York for you? Whereabouts are you? You near the Flushing Meadows area, or are you on the other side? Must have been quite a emotional day for you and the people that you know in New York because of the 20-year anniversary of the tragic 9/11 attacks. But if you haven't yet, folks, and you're enjoying this tennis stream, do subscribe, do give us a like, get in touch on our live chat page, and also vote for who you think's going to win on our poll. If you love your tennis, be sure to join the channel. We'd really appreciate it. We're very, very close to 5,000 subscribers. Last time I checked, we were at 4,870 odd, so we're just over 100 away from reaching 5,000. So do help us, and I'm sure between now and the end of the year we'll keep an eye out for the ATP and WTA tournaments to bring you a few watch-alongs here and there, especially Emma Raducanu progress after she wins the US Open. It'd be interesting if there's been any articles yet predicting of when she will come back, because they normally want to take a week or two off, don't they, I feel?
Yeah, she'll definitely want some time to kind of process what's gone on these last 3 weeks. She's been away from a family for a while as well, so she's probably wanting to catch up with them at some point, but I'm sure a schedule will be released of what her plans are between now and the end of the year.
Adam says... Adam Medhurst says, Brooklyn, I am a Brit. Don't worry, Adam, I'm not laughing at what you just said. It's good. Ah, you're a Brit. So what made you go to Brooklyn? Was it for work reasons or family reasons? We got Jetpack Laser Penis saying, butt scratcher in capitals with a Peter Griffin profile picture. I love that scene. It's so funny. Butt scratcher, butt scratcher. No, Peter, butt scratcher.
No.
I've been trying to sell butt scratchers to earn a bit more money on the side. Butt scratcher! Last rally was 15 shots. It's 30. Oh, this is a tense game for Djokovic's serve. Of course, I'd imagine in New York it is an option to wear a mask because there's a lot of fans not wearing them, sitting next to each other while there's some still wearing them. I think it just becomes a choice
remember
these
last
days.
night when we were keen to know what the viewing figures were for the final.
Oh yeah, have they,
I just had a look here, and yeah, the Standard posted 8 hours ago, and they said Emma Raducanu wins draws in peak viewing figures of 9.2 million on Channel 4.
Wow.
Emma Raducanu's historic victory over Leylah Fernandez achieved a peak audience viewing figures of 9.2 million.
I'd love to know what Andy Murray's Wimbledon win in 2013 was. That must have been up there.
30-40.
Oh, Medvedev. He's a point away from breaking Djokovic's serve. He forehands it past Djokovic on the baseline. And as he fist pumps in the end, looks to the sky. He looks up to this Medvedev.
Murray's 2013 win was 17.3 million peak audience on BBC One.
Yeah, that's crazy. But of course, Amazon Prime haven't announced their numbers probably either. So, you know, that's just the Channel 4 viewers there. It's back to juice. The serve speed there from Djokovic of 124 miles per hour was too good for Medvedev to return. No, Adam says it's he's in New York because of, well, Brooklyn, because of work and his girlfriend. I'm in the video games industry. Yeah, that's interesting. Ooh. Which video games have you produced, Adam? If you work if you work for Rockstar, Adam, feel free to send me a free copy of Red Dead 2. Yes, it's been out for a few years, but I still don't have it. Do you do video games, Cara?
When I say I'm a gamer, I mainly just play Animal Crossing and Mario Kart and occasionally Nintendogs.
Oh, are you a Nintendo Switch player then, or?
I am a Switch player. Hang on, let me do a little flex here.
Other consoles are available.
Yeah.
I must admit, I was very close to buying a Nintendo Switch when the first lockdown happened. And I remember going
I think that's when I got mine. When was it? It was near the end of the first lockdown.
Yes.
I got mine.
Yeah, because I remember even then, it was hard to get a Nintendo Switch.
Everywhere had sold out.
Yeah.
And I took it as a sign that maybe I should have got one. And then Emma Tatum messaged me and said they've got them in stock in Wrexham, and I was like, let's get them. So we did.
They are. Mario Kart is no doubt the most addictive video game of all time.
Mario Kart Wii is the most ultimate Mario Kart of all time.
Yes.
Don't even come at me. No other Mario Kart. Hang on. Got another.
Oh, there it is. Put it in a case. Don't get this disc scratched. My sister was terrible at that. She'd always leave the disc out. I'd be like, Hannah, I paid for that. Put it in the bloody case. That's what really grinds my gears. Medvedev always hit the net. That's a shame. Advantage Djokovic. The serve game's still going on. It just shows who's the more comfortable right now. Helena standing up again, applauding Djokovic. Djokovic's agent is there, who I'm sure is a busy man. Ooh. Adam's CV's pretty impressive. He's produced games like The Sims. Sims straight away is enough to put on your CV. Massive game. Final Fantasy, Need for Speed, to name a few. Very impressive. And Djokovic has won that game. Holds the serve, and you do hear the cheer again and that reception here at the Arthur Ashe. He leads 2-1. Medvedev to serve next, but Cara right now, just looking at Djokovic, he's just sat back down and he's got the towel over his face. It's like he's shouting in it, where I don't think he's comfortable right now. I think he's realising that this is really a big challenge for him.
Yeah, his history's on the line for him here, really, isn't it? History's going to be made regardless, because Djokovic is either going to overtake Federer and Nadal in the amount of Grand Slams won, or Medvedev is going to be a Grand Slam champion for the first ever time in his career. So there's a lot on the line. But he doesn't look too comfortable, as you said, but he managed to get through that service game just about.
I'm watching Medvedev here trying to open this packet of whatever it is. He's able to open it up, which he should be able to have grip. He's had pure grip on his tennis racket so far. He's hardly made any errors, really. Hence why he's leading this match with that opening set win and not losing his serve game yet. You do wonder what kind of things they have in that bag, like certain drinks. I mean, there's colours in those drinks that I don't even want to know. Colours that we've never discovered before that they put in these drinks, but I guess it
looks
helps
like
them.
he's drinking brandy.
It does. It probably is. It's probably a bit of Coca-Cola in there as well. But I'll just never forget Gail Monfils drinking Coca-Cola. That was funny.
I'm sure it's not brandy, just for anybody who's watching this right now.
Djokovic is got a towel all over his head now. He's trying to hide his face from the public. I remember once Djokovic, it was raining and he was still sat on the court, and the ball kid was there and he was getting quite wet, so we got him to sit down with him and then he would hold the umbrella for him instead. and then he'd like swap, wouldn't they? He'd be like, you can have my racket for a moment, and all that. And he'd be like, do you want a drink? Here's my drink. It was such a lovely moment. I mean, for the kid as well. I mean, he'll remember that forever. It was very funny. And that's what they do, call him the Joker for a reason. He's had some funny antics in the past, Novak Djokovic. Oh, Medvedev hit that long. It was a ball that was struck right at him, really, in the middle of the court by Djokovic, but straight away Medvedev was just frustrated because he just couldn't control it. He just wanted to at least return it and hope that it would land safely, but instead it went long.
Yeah, he managed to get a good serve as well. There wasn't much off the Djokovic return, which allowed Medvedev to come into the net, but ball coming straight to him. I don't think he was expecting it to be that close and just ended up putting his racket out in defence to try and hit a shot back. It went long.
30-15.
He's got a point back again, Medvedev, so 30-15 in this fourth game so far. This time he goes down the middle. Oh, no. It was a great return by Djokovic, but it was a fault, so he has to take it again. Oh, I think that was an ace. Yeah. Oh, no, it's a double fault again. Come on, Medvedev, what are you doing?
Creep in a little bit now. Medvedev's now hit more double faults than Djokovic at 3. Djokovic hitting 2.
Oh, Medvedev. Oh, he's just kept it in. This is a good rally. Now Djokovic with a slice with the backhand. Now plays it to the left-hand side. Quite powerful return from Medvedev. Now in the middle, another slice from Djokovic. Medvedev with a two-handed backhand. Cross court, now here we go. Djokovic hits the ball down the right. This is a good rally, this. This is probably the longest rally of the match so far. Djokovic hits it long. And Medvedev wins the point. And Cara, from what I can always remember from Djokovic, the longer the rally goes, the more it's likely he normally would win.
Yeah, he's got the stamina. He's got that eye for space, and he's got a good spatial awareness. But you usually favour Djokovic in these longer rallies. But it's interesting to see how he'll do against Medvedev. But Medvedev looks very tired after that. After that rally. Adams asked, who had the harder journey of these two to get to the final? I can tell you now, it was Novak Djokovic. He's dropped 6 sets, and I heard earlier in his 31 routes he's had to Grand Slam finals, this has been the toughest one he's had. Medvedev having the easiest time of the two, only dropping. He dropped his first set in the quarterfinals against Van der Zandschulp.
Well, Bradley Cooper's there, watching next to what looked to have been Brad Pitt, maybe. I'm not sure. I couldn't tell with his sunglasses. But Bradley Cooper, known for that celebration with Gerard Butler a few years ago in the Wimbledon.
In the Royal Box at Wimbledon.
In the Royal Box. I do love a bit of Bradley Cooper, I must admit. Loved him in The Hangover.
Never seen it.
Have you not? Oh, it's a great film.
No, I don't really watch films. I'm just watching tennis 24/7.
If you've ever had a morning after where you can't remember the night before, then that's the kind of film to watch. Because you think your life was bad when that happened, but no, theirs was really bad in that film. They even ended up with a tiger in the bathroom. That's how bad it got. And we're just about to reach the hour mark of this match, and Djokovic is a break point away. Now, he's had 3 break points so far in this match, and he's not been able to make any of them. So he would want to make this
he's not converted, which is uncharacteristic of Djokovic, especially first set you kind of expected it, but second set you maybe have expected him to at least get 1 break point conversion.
Well, it's currently advantage Djokovic. Which? Ooh. No, it's a fault.
Please.
Yeah, the crowd are definitely on Djokovic's side.
Let.
Oh, apparently there was a let. That was a bit late. And there's boos going on there. You can hear the boos in the background. That was very late. Not sure.
Replay the points.
Did something
Djokovic.
come on the court?
Did what? Sorry.
Was something on the court, or was it
No,
a late,
no.
late net call?
So I heard he said let, but I think it might have been a delay on his system, maybe, or he probably just didn't notice it. So they're having to replay the point, which
That's
probably,
got to be annoying.
Yeah, it'd be annoying for both, really.
Especially Djokovic.
Yeah,
Please.
Medvedev made another fault. Oh, good slice by Medvedev. Djokovic did get there, but he couldn't get it over the net. Big point that from Medvedev. And Djokovic knows that he's got to take these chances. He hasn't been able to make any break points so far.
Yes.
It just shows how hard it is to win a point against Djokovic. Ooh, they're just showing a replay, which I didn't notice, but when he hit the net, he just did like a quick, oh, I think that's why. Djokovic looked like he was ready to smash his racket on the ground, but then the ball girl's coming in front, and he's probably thinking, no, I can't do it in front of a ball girl. Don't do what you did last year, mate.
That's what Tim Henman did, didn't he? Tim Henman got defaulted from, I can't remember what tournament it was, but he got defaulted because he hit a ball girl with a ball.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that.
Advantage.
But this is why I don't like Tsitsipas. I think Tsitsipas is a terrible, terrible attitude. I've noticed with him, like, he would break his racket right in front of his dad at the ATP Cup. And I think his dad actually was on the receiving end of one of them. And he straight away said to him, ow, what the fuck? And then he walked away from Medvedev. Sorry, not Medvedev. He walked away from his son. And I'm like, I don't blame you. You can't do that. I couldn't give a crap how badly you're playing. You can't. I think it's terrible we see that in tennis. Tennis is supposed to be a gentleman's sport, And oh, here we go. He's doing it. Djokovic. He smashed his racket. This is not a good sign from Djokovic. He's definitely smashed it. Get a grip, man. Just if you do that, you're giving it away to Medvedev in my eyes. I think you're being showed that you're rattled, and it's only a set down. It's not like he's about to lose or anything.
Yeah, this is still very early on. I know it's frustrating, but you can't smash your racket when things get hard and it's going your way. That's not good for the sport. What message is that sending out to people? It's if you lose a point and you're annoyed, smash your racket. That's not what tennis is about. It's not the racket's fault.
It has got rowdy here in this stadium. He's been given a warning, as you'd expect from the chair umpire. Djokovic obviously not going against that call, and he's hit it long, and Medvedev wins the game. So that was a big opportunity wasted by Djokovic, but you know what? I'm happy Medvedev won that. I haven't got time for players who decide to smash their racket and show their aggression. You've got ball kids out there watching on, you've got kids watching, and this is supposed to be the attitude you've got to future generations. The hell with you. I can't be doing with that.
Yeah, and as well for kids who want to play tennis, and maybe because tennis is not like football where you can literally just get a cheap football and go on a field. Tennis, to get a tennis racket, like a good tennis racket, they cost hundreds of pounds, and he's just probably damaged probably about £150 racket.
Yeah. Which the sponsors pay for. Djokovic probably doesn't pay for them at all. I mean, his racket is head. It's been head for a long time, I think.
I think
rackets.
He was Wilson for his first win at the Aussie Open in 2010, and then I think 2011 it was head.
Yeah. Double faults 3-all. Because we've just had a double fault from Djokovic. He's love 15 down. I got a question for you, Adam. You must work for EA maybe if you've done games like The Sims and Need for Speed. I remember once upon a time EA Sports did a couple of games called Grand Slam Tennis. They did Grand Slam Tennis 1 and 2, which didn't last very long. It was quite a fun game to play. You got to play at Wimbledon with some legendary players and some current players.
Cash, I think, was on that.
He was, yeah. John McEnroe. Then you'd have the usual faces of Andy Murray, Nadal, Djokovic, Federer. It was quite fun to play.
Serena.
You've got these new ones now, like the Australian Open game, which is a random dedicated game just towards that tournament and other tournaments. But then there's also World Tour Tennis, I think it is. I'm not sure. Adam Medhurst, actually, just when we were talking to you then, says smashing rackets should face tougher fines.
Yeah,
I think it should.
agree.
I think it should because we see it very often. It doesn't take much for these players to lose it.
The thing is, though, like, the reason why Djokovic wouldn't have got a fine for that is because he didn't cause any damage to the court. But at the same time, I think he should be fined for smashing that racket because of the messages it's sending out.
Yeah. I mean, I remember Tsitsipas doing it where he smashed his bottle, water all over the court, and he would just sit there during his drinks break and just do his thing. While all the ball kids and all that had to get a towel and deal with it. And I'm thinking, you're a grown man. Take responsibility and clean it up yourself because the match can't go on until it's cleaned.
That happened this week. I can't remember whose match it was, but somebody got very annoyed that they were losing. They smashed their water bottle onto the court, and then the ball kids, the person who did it, and their opponent ended up with towels all over the floor trying to clean it up.
Yeah, I can't be doing with that. I think if you're going to cause the mess, pick up the mess.
Yeah, clean it yourself. Or don't do it in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't be doing with that.
No, bad attitude.
And that's why I don't like Tsitsipas. I'm not a Tsitsipas fan. I don't like his attitude. 15-40.
Sorry to Steph Tsitsipas, who I know is watching tonight from Greece.
Well, you're not good enough, Steph, are you, mate? That's why you're sitting at home.
Big fan of the show is Steph.
Hope you're actually joking. Break point for Medvedev. Good serve by Djokovic there. He made Medvedev run for it. He did get to the end of the serve, but he hit it way long.
30-40.
Getting hope there from the Russian, it felt. Adam says he did work for EA many years ago. I thought you might have if you produced Need for Speed in The Sims. 30-40, Djokovic needs to win this point. It's another good serve, but it's a fault. I love that. It's a good serve, but it's a fault. Great line.
serve, but it's a fault. I think that's probably one of the lines of the tournament. Great serve, but it's a fault.
Serves made. Djokovic making Medvedev run side to side. Oh, Djokovic! Backhand is terrible. Lobs it past the court. Medvedev's broken his serve for the second time in this match. And he leads 3-2, and he's about to serve after this drinks break.
Medvedev leads 3-2. Second set.
That was a really, nervy point from Djokovic because he ended up at the net to take a volley, backhand volley, but it looked like he kind of fell into the volley, leaned into it instead of put your foot out to carve it over the net. He just kind of fell into it.
You do feel like if Medvedev, wins this US Open, he can forget from what happened 2 years ago in a nutshell, can't he? It's just all forgotten.
Oh, Adam said smash a racket equals 10% of match winnings go to charity. I think that's a good shout.
Not a bad shout. They're just showing the replay again now of him smashing the racket and that little, what is it? The little white circle that you put on the racket.
There's two names for it. It depends on where you're from, I suppose. Some people call it a vibration dampener. Some people call it a shock absorber. I call it a shock absorber.
A shock absorber. That's quite a good name. But yeah, the shock absorber.
It literally does what it says on the tin. It absorbs the shock.
It literally just rolled around the court there. and knowing his duty was done, his shift was over, a new racket had to come into play. So here we go then. Djokovic knows he has to break his serve. He's not done it at all yet. He's had breakpoint opportunities, but he hasn't taken them.
He's had 5. He's not from 5 on break points.
No, he's been terrible at it. It's been like Emma Raducanu's from yesterday. Toto points 1 in set 2. Djokovic and Medvedev are level at 20 all.
Interesting.
Match is currently at 1 hour and 11 minutes. Which, you just never know. This second set could go quickly here. And it could already be 2 sets in after an hour and a half, maybe. I said Medvedev in 5 sets. But anyway, it's early days. Starts off very nicely there with an ace down the middle. Djokovic yet again hardly made a move. And that's 11 aces for Medvedev towards Djokovic's 5 aces.
He's served really well so far, hasn't he?
There's not many tennis players out there I'd be confident to be consistent with their serve game, and Medvedev for me is one of them.
Yeah, it feels like everything's just kind of strung together for him in the last set and a half.
Oh, this is a good rally, this one. A bit of backhand action, both of them slicing it. Oh, bit of a deflection on the net. Rally continues. Now with Medvedev. Nice, powerful forehand. He's got it. 30 love. Lovely, lovely placement. Again, Djokovic didn't move at the end.
Before the start of this match, we would have said Djokovic would be winning these long points.
It's not happening.
But Medvedev has won majority of them so far.
Greg Livingstone says, question. I love it how you start off the sentence with question. Like
Destiny's Child.
Like who?
Like Destiny's Child.
Oh, I was more thinking of, what's his name off The Office US? Oh, I forgot his name. Oh, you don't watch it? Oh, yeah, I'm wasting it on you, Cara. I need a new partner.
I know.
40 love Medvedev. He's acing it again in this service game. He asks, what is the longest match at Wimbledon? Do you guys know? The match took about 11 hours and 5 minutes. I would imagine it is that John Isner Mahut match.
It's the John Isner Nicholas Mahut match from, was it 2011? 2010? Yeah, 2010. It was, the entire match was about 3 days and 11 minutes, wasn't it? Not 11 minutes. 11 hours.
It's when you see the scoreboard graphic, you know, before the match point, and then you see it's like 66-66. You think, I've never seen that ever. But like you see the graphic scoreboard, it's like it's never had to process those numbers before, and it's kind of like trying to fit it in the box. I love it.
It's like the scoreboard kind of went into meltdown at that point.
I mean, John Isner won it, but he got battered in the next match because, well, he was knackered.
3 days and 11 hours and 5 minutes or whatever it was on court for one match.
I think what was funny about that match was that Isner celebrated crazily and Mahut was absolutely good because it was a moment of history. It was never, of course, any trophy at the end of it, but just a plaque to put on the court.
Yeah, they had a plaque on the court, didn't they?
Yeah, which they had to. And I remember seeing that plaque when I first went to Wimbledon, so it was absolutely fantastic. Big moment of history, but it just shows how much they both wanted to win the match because it is a match it's 11 years ago now and we're still talking about it.
Second longest match at Wimbledon, though, did involve John Isner in 2018 against Kevin Anderson.
Yeah, and that was a semi, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Anderson got to the final that year, didn't he?
He did, and I don't know why, I would have found it really weird seeing John Isner at a Wimbledon final. It's like seeing Andy Roddick again. American, wearing a cap, has a great serve, just a little bit taller. Love 30, Djokovic, folks, is rattled. And I said it before, when you smash a racket so early on in a match, when there's still a lot to
30.
give, that says to me, that is a sign to your opponent that you've got him.
And as well, you smash a racket because you're not playing very well, and then you get another racket and then continue to not play very well.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
Greg Livingston says, not going to lie, I would not last 5 minutes in a tennis match. If you're playing me, Greg, you'll last a long time, I reckon, but not if you're playing a Novak Djokovic or a Daniil Medvedev. I'd like to play John Isner after he played 3 days of tennis. Might get 1 or 2 points off him at least.
Especially if you drop shot him, because he's like over 6 foot. So he's higher off the ground. So those low shots, especially drop shots after playing 11 hours in 3 days.
15:30 at the moment. Medvedev 2 points away from probably... Oh, he's hit it long. He has. 30 all. In terms of first serve in play of set 2, Djokovic has only got 9 out of 24, 38%. Medvedev 13 out of 24.
Oh, and I think I'm contradicting myself now, but I don't think Djokovic has played a bad match. It's just that Medvedev's played better.
Yeah. He's able to turn it round though in this game. He's 40-30 up now,
30.
which I think he would have lost this set for sure if he'd lost this game. Djokovic with the serve down the middle. Medvedev couldn't make the return. It hits the net. And a bit of sigh of relief there, I think, from Djokovic's facial expressions as he goes and sits down and looks as though he'll change his shirt.
Medvedev.
Not really much of a six-pack there to check out, I'm afraid, ladies. He's just very skinny. That's the thing with someone like Djokovic. He's not exactly muscular, is he? You know, he's quite thin. But so's Medvedev. There's nothing of him either.
I think Medvedev, out of the two, he just looks like some guy who's just turned up with a tennis racket, but is an amazing player.
Yeah.
That's what I like about him. He just looks like an everyday kind of guy.
He probably just doesn't eat. Has all those protein shakes instead. There's showing a slow-mo of a woman cheering. She looks a bit drunk, to be honest. Hope she's not got work tomorrow. It's a Monday tomorrow. Do get in touch, folks, on our live chat page. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button. Give us a like as well. If you enjoy your tennis, we do a few tennis watch-alongs. We started to do them recently, especially since this US Open tournament. And we'll hope to try and do a few more before the end of the season. Especially the finals of both the WTA and the ATP finals we'll try and do. Meanwhile, we've got a US Open men's title to be decided. Djokovic losing the opening set 6-4 and is down 4-3 here with Medvedev to serve in this second set, which at the moment it'll be Medvedev who will lift his first ever Grand Slam title 2 years on after accepting second place to Rafael Nadal here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Greg Livingston asking, Jamie, thoughts on Ian Poulter, Sergio Garcia and Shane Lowry in for Team Europe in the Ryder Cup? You know what, Greg? I didn't know that, and that has made me really excited. Ian Poulter, as we all call him, the postman, because he always delivers, and I can't wait to see him back. And Sergio Garcia. But Ian Poulter, he's the spirit of that team. He's fantastic. Shane Lowry, I can't wait to see him. I like Shane Lowry. I think he's been a great golfer this year. Yes, no majors to show for it, but he was up there in that US Open, I think it was, back in June. So, yeah, bring it on. I'm looking forward to it. I think Europe could be favourites. Meanwhile, it's 30 love for Medvedev here. And he ain't messing around. 40 love. And is a point away to leading this set 5-3.
I just feel like I blinked and then all of a sudden it's 40 love.
Yeah. I was like that when it was 30 love. He's so quick. He just doesn't mess around. I remember seeing this at the ATP finals. He just does not mess around.
I think this is what Novak Djokovic doesn't like. I don't think Novak Djokovic likes to be rushed. And Medvedev's rushing him because you've got to go to the speed of the server.
Oh, good backhand. Should win the point. He does so. And Medvedev's a game away to making it 2 sets to love. Some of the fans off on their feet applauding him. But as I said, Medvedev was 2 sets up against Nadal 2 years ago. At this moment in time, he looks to be doing this again.
Second set.
But I think he might have learnt a few things from last time.
What's the poll saying? I've not checked in a while. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Djokovic 84%, Medvedev 16%.
You can still vote, folks. You can't change your mind though once you vote. So those 84% out there are probably thinking, oh damn it. But again, it's not over till he lifts the trophy, as Cara said the other day. So 5-3. Djokovic hits it long. And remember, he's serving to stay in this set.
Again.
Well, I didn't think I'd say this, but we're potentially going to have the first 2 sets within under an hour and a half, which in some Grand Slam finals, it normally can take an hour just to get a set done when the 2 plays are very tight.
I feel like this match has been tight, but it hasn't.
Yeah, it has when Djokovic is serving. Oh, Medvedev nearly somehow got an impossible point there, but Djokovic does win it. He leads 30-15.
13,
Greg saying, I am surprised that Justin Rose was not picked because he had won at the course where it's getting played. Oh, right. He's had a bit of a mixed season, Justin Rose. Normally we do see him near the top, at least in these majors. And Djokovic hits the net, so it's back at 30 all. His 2-handed backhand was no good there.
30 all.
Tried to go over the higher part of the net, didn't get enough height on it to get it over.
Seb True saying Djokovic breaking his racket when he lost a break point. What a dude. And he says completely cracking right now in a group chat. Actually, Seb True's got in touch on a live chat page as well. Hello, Seb. He says, yes, but on the hard, surely it makes sense that the sets don't last too long. Well, I remember watching Andy Murray Djokovic at the US Open final in 2012, and the first 2 sets took 2 hours. First set alone took over an hour. But again, in all fairness, those 2 sets were tie breaks, so which Murray won both of them. But that match went on for nearly 5 hours. 5-set match, that one. Oh, Medvedev's made that one. And Djokovic hits it overarm. So he saves himself for now. But Medvedev, like he did in the last set, will be serving for this second set. And let's not forget, Cara, Medvedev has still not lost his serve.
No. And he's not allowed Djokovic 5 break points off opportunities, and Medvedev hasn't allowed him to convert any of them.
Now, of course, we did have some Serie A football on earlier with Seb True, and I've just checked the AS Roma result. AS Roma were 1-0 up when I last checked from Costanti in the 37th minute, and look at this. They won on the 91st minute from Stephen Al-Shahari, and Filip Juricic got a goal back for the away team on the 57th minute. So yet again, AS Roma continue their winning start by winning 3 games out of the 3, and they are top of the league with AC Milan and Napoli. And it was AC Milan that Seb True was doing earlier. So I'm sure Seb enjoyed that match. Of course, if you are new to the channel, folks, this is your home of watch-alongs for any sport you can think of. Even snail racing, we'll even do that. Why not? I like a bit of snail racing, maybe even marble racing. It's quite exciting. Do let us know. If there's any watch-alongs you'd like to see, let us know on the live chat page. But coming up, we've got, of course, the Champions League, the Europa League this week. England women's playing on Friday, and, of course, the usual MotoGP next weekend. All sorts of stuff going on. We've also, of course, got the Ryder Cup later this month, one of the biggest tournaments in golf between Europe and the USA. We could do a check if the Laver Cup's on this month. Normally it's in September. We'll get Cara to check that. And, of course, plenty of F1 and stuff to look forward to this month. So if you enjoy your watch-alongs and you're enjoying this, click that subscribe button, give us a like, and, of course, be sure to vote on our poll and get in touch on our live chat page. Don't be shy.
Laver Cup is the last week of September.
What? Where is it this time? Is it in America or Europe?
It is Boston.
So it isn't. Okay. It's funny because every time because it's meant to be the world versus Europe, isn't it? But
Yeah.
every time the world hosts it, it's always in America. Oh no, actually no. Yeah, it's always in America. It's like, come on, take it somewhere else.
America is the only bit of the world.
Yeah. Everything else, forget your Africas, forget your Oceania, South America, all that crap.
Australia.
Forget the fact. Well, actually, but I mean, this final in here, we've got 2 Europeans, which will scare the world team ahead of the Laver Cup, thinking, oh crap, we got none of our players in this final. Fertilov Medvedev. He's 2 points away. It's the ball on the right-hand side there. Djokovic having to slide and make the contact with his backhand. Now with Medvedev's slice backhand. Oh, Djokovic does get there. Bit of a deflection of the net. And Medvedev gets the point and gets the second set. He's 1 set away from his first ever major. And claps all round in the Arthur Ashe Stadium. Novak Djokovic cannot afford to slip anymore now. He has to win every set that is on offer now. Cara, your thoughts?
He's just taken advantage, hasn't he? All the break points the break point opportunities he's had, he's won them and managed to nudge ahead. He's not allowed Djokovic to convert any of the break points that he's had against him, and that's why we've seen him be so successful so far. But we saw Djokovic 2 sets to love down in the French Open final. He come back and won it. So
I'm confused, Cara. I thought the set was done, but it's now 40-15.
it was love 30 when I think it was love 30 to go up love 40 on that point.
I thought he won the second set. I'm confused.
No,
So
he's still got another chance.
What am I saying, folks? I completely thought wow. It shows what I know.
I just kind of went along with it because I think you're about 30 seconds ahead of me.
Oh, he's hit it wide as well, so it's 40-30. So
Not
2
quite
set
done
points
yet.
missed. I've absolutely cursed him.
Biggest fluff up of 2021.
40-30.
Martin Clancy, hello Martin, has got in touch for the first time tonight. Says, put your mortgage on Djokovic now. Trust me, I don't have a mortgage, Martin. And even if I did, I'm not doing that. I know what you're trying to say, though. You can never put it past Djokovic to turn it round. It's set point number 3. Medvedev, ace down the middle. Oh, Medvedev, what are you doing? Oh, luckily for him, Djokovic hit it wide, and he does win the second set. I was right. I predicted it, but a bit too early.
You predicted the future.
So it will be Medvedev to be 1 set away. Cara, does Medvedev try and think about what happened 2 years ago against Nadal to remember the errors, maybe to remember the pressure he felt? Because, you know, the pressure's on him now. Simple as that.
Yeah, he's. But at the same time, he's 2 sets closer than Djokovic. He's 1 set away from winning this. Djokovic has got to now win the next 3 sets to take this to 5 sets to win the championship. So Djokovic is a lot further away than Medvedev. So I think Medvedev has got to kind of ride out this wave of confidence. The fact that he has had break points against him, but managed to fight them off, and he's been getting the important points off the Djokovic service games.
Now, I don't know this, but has there ever been a Russian male player that's won a Grand Slam?
Ooh, did Marat Safin win a Grand Slam?
Ooh, that's not a bad shout. Didn't he win it in the 2000s?
Marat Safin won 2 singles Grand Slams. So yeah, Marat Safin.
What years were they?
Marat Safin, let's have a look. First Grand Slam title was at the US Open in 2000, and he won the 2005 Australian Open.
Yeah, that was it. I remember he won a couple in the 2000s. I forgot about him, to be honest. But it's funny, isn't it, Cara? Because Djokovic could lose this match, and he'll probably go back to the change room and smash a few more things. And even though he's had a good year still, it's the fact that it's sometimes what happens in the final Grand Slam that kind of sours the year for you. You know, you still you know what I mean? It's like that for even a player when they've had a great tournament, they get to the final, but they lose, and then it kind of, you forget about what was a great run. Yeah,
like he's had a great one to have got to the final. That's a win in itself. But I think for Novak Djokovic, when you're world number 1, going for the calendar slam and not achieving that after being in such a great position. He was even in a good position for the Golden Slam, wasn't he? But lost out to Zverev and didn't even medal this year.
Yeah.
So maybe that's played an effect on it. I don't know.
Maybe. It's just the fact that he's in another Grand Slam final. I don't know how many Grand Slam finals Djokovic has been in, but it's a lot of Grand Slam finals.
31, I think it is.
Oh, is that? God, I feel like it would have been more, but even so, 31's mad. Oh, Djokovic wins the first point, though. They both went to the net. And you can see the fans, they're all standing up, cheering for him. You know, 6 years ago, that Federer-Djokovic US Open final, there was a lot more fans going for Federer than Djokovic. And even when Djokovic started off the match, you know, with all sorts of marks on his legs from the AstroTurf and all that. And despite all the hits he got in that match, he still won it 3-1, I think it was. And I remember he looked towards Boris Becker and the coaches and just point to himself to just go, you know, I can do it at any level or any atmosphere. You know, doesn't matter who's cheering for who, I will still come out on top. Seb True's just come and checked out the odds, and he says the odds are still really low for Djokovic victory. So this is the thing, Djokovic, if there's one man that can turn it around, it's him. Him or Nadal, I'd say, in this era of tennis. Oh, great forehand for Medvedev. He was running across the court, but it took one powerful shot back at Djokovic, and he couldn't deal with it. But Djokovic leading his serve game at 30-15. He can't afford any more break points against him now. I really feel Medvedev's on a mission.
And even if he does get break points against him, Djokovic, he's got to make sure that Medvedev doesn't convert. Because if he goes an early breakdown in this, we could see Medvedev win his first ever Grand Slam after 2 previous attempts of getting into the final.
I'm trying to remember who was the last. It was Dominic Thiem, wasn't it? Who was the last player to win his first Grand Slam, I think.
Yeah, and then since then it's been all about Novak Djokovic.
Because Thiem won the US Open, didn't he, last year?
He did. Did he? Yes, he did.
Oh, and Djokovic has hit it out there, and it's. I thought it was in, but they're showing the close call, which I'm sure was right. Otherwise, it wouldn't be good technology. Yep, it's very well wide. Of course, line judges not existing anymore, and that's a good thing for Novak Djokovic, really. He would have wished they weren't there last year, otherwise he would have just hit a wall and he would have still been in the tournament. This is some good rally tennis here now. Oh, Djokovic hit the net. He was close to the net as well, and there's no excuses for that because there's now a break point against him again.
Wow.
30-40.
He can't afford to go down an early break because we've seen Medvedev just all Medvedev has needed in the last 2 sets is one break. That's all he needed. So Djokovic can't go down an early break now, otherwise you favour Medvedev for winning the title.
Especially with how these sets have gone so far.
Here
we go then.
One service break in each of the sets for Medvedev. That's all was needed.
Yeah. Will it be here? Djokovic, bit of a powerful forehand there, but it's Medvedev still being able to stick to this rally. Bit of a change in direction with the ball. Now Djokovic hits it long, and Medvedev has broken early in this 3rd set. He leads 1-love, and well, it's been a weekend full of surprises, full of upsets, and just as I say that, full of broken hearts, because there's Maria Sharapova in one of the hospitality boxes, and that might be her boyfriend, and that gives me a broken heart. Anyway, back with the tennis. Maria Sharapova retired ages ago. I don't know. In all fairness to Maria Sharapova, she still had a great career. She won all 4 Grand Slams, if I'm correct. She won the French. She only won Wimbledon once, which was when she was 17. Which you kind of hope.
That's when she beat Serena that year, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
2004.
So actually, yeah, of course, Sharapova being Russian, I'm sure she'll be supporting Medvedev today.
I'm reading something here, and it says Maria Sharapova was also considered to be one of the greatest rivals of Serena Williams.
Who?
I wouldn't really call that a rivalry when Serena won majority of her matches. Maria Sharapova was Serena Williams' biggest rival.
I don't think they got on though, did they?
They played. No, maybe that's what they thought in terms of rivalry, but in terms of tennis, Serena, obviously, the odds favoured her in that rivalry.
Has Serena Williams ever really had a rivalry?
I think her rivalry's been with history because she's not managed to make it over the mark for most Grand Slams won, and she's been trying since that Wimbledon title she won a couple of years ago.
Andy Roddick.
She's not won a title, well, a slam since then.
Andy Roddick is in the courts again today, watching on. He won the US Open in 2003.
30-15.
Medvedev leading here 30-15. All that Djokovic's coaches could do is just watch on and show their support towards the Serb. Sebastian True says Dominic Thiem will come back strong soon, mark my words. The one thing I like about Dominic Thiem is his facial expressions. He looks so determined when you watch him. Even if he loses a match, he takes the whole thing seriously. I think he's a great player. I completely agree with you, Seb, and I'd like to see him.
Great single-handed backhand as well.
Yeah, I love single-handed backhanders. I mean, look, Federer and Wawrinka, my God. I mean, Seb lives in Switzerland, so Seb knows that if you're going to play tennis over there, you have to do one-handed backhands, otherwise they'll deport you. You have to be able to do one-handed backhands. Belinda Bencic may be allowed to get away with that, but you know, she lost to an 18-year-old Raducanu this week. Anyway, 30 all. But you know, Seb, I'm expecting you to be one of the best tennis players in the world since you're from Switzerland now. In all fairness to Seb, since
Federer.
since Seb has moved to Switzerland, he's been able to just see Federer win so many Grand Slams, Wawrinka pick up 3 Grand Slams. So I think for Seb, he's been spoilt, while me and Cara have only been able to watch Murray win 3 Grand Slams and Raducanu win 1. So when you compare it to Federer and Stan Wawrinka, we're talking a lot of numbers.
And Bencic with a gold medal.
And Ben, yeah, good point. It's 40-30. Oh,
Close
what a
to.
backhand from Djokovic. To keep the game going at 40-all.
Yes.
Seb says, team was the guy supposed to win Roland Garros, but improved his all-round game. Yeah, I agree. I was never expecting him to win the US, but I do think when Djokovic ballsed it up by hitting that line judge with the ball, it wasn't with his racket, don't worry, it wasn't that bad. That was a straightaway disqualification. He was the favourite to win the tournament, no doubt.
Yeah, I think every tournament he plays, he's the favourite to win.
Advantage.
Yeah,
Medvedev.
especially the last few years. Apart from French, I honestly thought Nadal would do it this year, but that was some performance by Djokovic.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
semi-final.
love him or hate him, that's probably got to be one of the biggest wins of his career.
Yeah, no doubt.
Winning that match against Nadal and then going on to win the final in 5 after going 2 sets to love down.
And Medvedev has an advantage point here, and you've got to think about all the work Djokovic has done this year to get to this point of bidding for a calendar slam, like that match with Nadal. It's, you know, it takes the life out of you. You know what I mean? Like it tires me just talking about it. Yeah, imagine being in Djokovic's situation where he had to beat Nadal, he had to go and win Wimbledon again, he had to go and win the Australian Open. Not easy at all, even if you've won them a few times. It's the fact that all of that might disappear because of this final.
Medvedev leads 2 games to love. Third
Like
set.
it's hard to win a Grand Slam, but it's harder to defend a Grand Slam.
Yeah.
But Novak Djokovic has proved that he can do that multiple times. But I think he's not managed to find a good rhythm yet.
Yeah, I agree. I also don't think he's got an answer for Medvedev's game at the moment.
No, he managed to push him to get to juice on Medvedev's service game there, but Medvedev finding
Love 15.
something extra in the tank.
I'm feeling Medvedev's getting better and better in this match as well.
Some of these passing shots that he's hit have been something else.
Love 15, Djokovic already under pressure in his serve again. And I'm sorry, but if Medvedev wins this game, I think we got a one-horse race here. And the last time Djokovic lost at US Open final was 5 years ago to Stanislas Wawrinka, which was a great moment for Wawrinka because that made him have 3 Grand Slams, but all 3 of them at 3 different tournaments, which
Yeah.
no one expected that from Stan. I mean, he was starting to develop quite late on in his career.
Yeah, he was like the guy who'd make it deep into the
13.
tournament but wouldn't quite win it
Yeah,
until he won it.
it wasn't until 2013, I think it was when he had that great 5-setter with Djokovic at the Australian Open. He didn't beat him, I don't think. No, he didn't beat him. But that's when people started to recognise him a bit more. He was known on the circuit, but in terms of competitiveness at the top, he was showing it. And then guess what happened? A year later, he won that tournament.
And I think then he wasn't Roger Federer's understudy. He was Stan Wawrinka, the Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Djokovic has got a point back here. It's 15-30 now. He's still got all to do. But Medvedev's trying to get himself 3 love up. Djokovic strikes the net. We've got Roblin Mondelo saying, "Hi, I'm watching from the Philippines." Hello,
wow.
Roblin. Hope you're well.
Hi.
You must have watched the Fernandez final yesterday, then.
Didn't
Meanwhile, with this.
we had somebody from the Philippines watching yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't think it was Roblin, though. It was somebody else. Apologies if it was you, Roblin. I don't recognise the name.
30 all.
It's 30 all now. Djokovic has been able to get 2 points back here. Oh, Djokovic has got another point there. He hits it down the right. Medvedev maybe could have ran for it, but he would never get there in time.
40-30.
Djokovic is starting to come into the net a lot more to finish these points now. He wants to be getting these done quick.
I wonder what Maria Sharapova's up to these days, then.
Sweet, innit?
Is
Sharapova.
Are they quite big, then? Because they've been around for a while, haven't they?
Yeah, I've never tried them though.
I find it ironic that she'd sell sweets for someone
And
who
she's
would
an
have to
athlete.
avoid. Yeah, for someone who'd have to probably
Somebody who
avoid
can't
them.
have a lot of sugar.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's juice.
Sweets and confectionery are probably some of the most money-making things in the world, you could argue. Like, if you put sweets up against a banana, you're going to pick the sweets, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't really see her doing banana pova, could you?
Banana pova. Oh dear. Thing is, though, I always
Nobody else will know who this is, but Jamie, you know who this is. Steve Kenyon from one of our old lecturers from the uni days. He come up with Sharapova's pullovers
pullovers. What?
by Sharapova.
He quite liked tennis, didn't he? Stephen Kenyon.
He did. He got involved. Not playing, but involved with the chat whenever there was a tournament on.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Medvedev.
Which always surprised me, but he'd just always turn up and talk about it. I'm like, all right, hello. Well, it's is this break point? It is. It's break point Medvedev.
Breakpoint Medvedev, yeah.
Big moment. Oh, I think he did. Djokovic hit it wide. It was his point. Completely missed an open goal there. And Medvedev fist pumps to the air again towards his team in the corner. He leads this third set 3-love, and he's about
Medvedev
to serve.
3 games to
Try
love.
and make it
Third
4-love.
set and 2 sets to love.
Yeah, Cara, I think this is a one-horse race right now.
It is possible to lose it from this point, but Medvedev has been in this position before, and I don't think he'll want a repeat of what happened when he made his first final a couple of years ago.
Roblin says, my idol from tennis since I'm young is Roger Federer. We're going to make the most out of him now, Roblin. He doesn't play as much anymore, which says to me retirement is down the road. But
I don't care if Roger Federer never plays at the Australian Open, the French Open, or the US Open, as long as he just fits Wimbledon in once a year and doesn't play the rest. I don't care, because
Yeah.
Roger Federer and Wimbledon are two of the things that we should not be able to live without.
It was the fact that, like, when he lost his match at Wimbledon this year, it was the fact that final set was 6-love.
Yeah, it was not the post-match interview, but when he was doing press afterwards, somebody asked him, they were like, is this your last match at Wimbledon? He said, I don't know.
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
Normally you'd say, I'll see you next year. Yeah.
Oh, of course. In the crowd, we've just seen pictures of James Corden, who seems to be everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, this guy's done all right for himself. He's a chat show host in America these days. Late Night with James Corden, I think it's called, or something like that.
But of course, he's in the audience because Cinderella, which he's recently starred in, is on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime being the platform to host the US Open, hence probably why he's had an invite. Unless he is friends with Novak Djokovic, that could be another reason why he's here.
Who, Corden?
Yeah.
Nah, he's a big American star, isn't he? That's the thing. Like, it's so weird. Like, I remember just watching him on Gavin Stacey. Never thought he'd turn out this big. Whether you love him or hate him.
I do love Gavin and Stacey though.
Great show. I still want to know what happened in that Christmas special, like the ending bit. Like, come on, what's going to happen next? Do another one.
Do you think, like, I know we're not really, this is directing chat away from tennis for the moment, but do you think that if anybody other than if you're from England or Wales would understand it?
What the? I don't think they would. No, I don't think they would. Oh, great backhand by Djokovic, 15-all. Greg says, Jamie, you're thinking about Rami Malek. Ah, that was his name, Rami Malek.
He was good in Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Cara says she doesn't watch any films.
I don't, but I watched that one because it was about Queen. I like these biopic things.
I've not seen it, but all I know is that he's going to be a villain in this new James Bond film in a few weeks.
Ooh.
Seb says Federer is waiting for Basel to retire. Do you mean the Basel Open? Because he always wins that. Which is normally an ATP 500 tournament. Djokovic hits it long. 40-15 Medvedev. A point away to leading this match for love, which
15.
he's not led this far so far in a set against Djokovic. So it just shows that the gap is getting bigger.
He's getting a lot of free points off the serve though. He's hit 14 aces so far.
Oh, he got hit. Medvedev hit the tip of the net, and it. Luckily for him, the bounce is still okay.
Medvedev.
I think Djokovic is tired.
I think these last couple of weeks,
Medvedev leads
that
4
kind of
against
heartbreak
two.
at the Olympics, and then the pressure of getting the calendar slam, I think it's taking its toll on him. He looks knackered.
That's some claims here. I mean, we've got Robland saying really wants Federer to retire. Seb True says, yeah, Federer's waiting to play his last tournament in Basel. It got cancelled due to COVID, so we'll wait another year. So, okay, so it's been cancelled this year, has it? It's normally in October, isn't it?
Do you think, though, that is where he will choose to end his career, or do you think it would be Wimbledon? Because I think if he was going to end it anywhere, he'd want to do it at Wimbledon, his best Grand Slam.
I remember Tim Henman made sure he retired at Wimbledon. I feel like Andy Murray's already retired, even though he's still playing. No offence, Murray. I think it's great
now, though, isn't it? Like,
I mean, look,
it's
it's up to him, isn't it? Like, if he can continue to play and he's happy, then that's all that matters. But I sadly just don't think Andy Murray will ever get back to his best. If he can ever make it to a second week of a Grand Slam, then that's an achievement.
Well, what he did at Wimbledon was huge.
Yeah.
14-11.
But every question in every press conference for, Murray, Serena, Roger, is this your last match? Is this your last Grand Slam? Are you going to retire? And we'll probably have those questions until they do retire.
New balls.
Because these journalists want to get the exclusive. They want them to say, yeah, I'm retiring, like, now. As of now, I've retired. They want to get that exclusive.
Seb True's actually said, no, he said he wants to end at Basel. Oh, okay.
Oh, does he? Oh, okay.
I mean, it makes sense. He's had a lot of success in that tournament, and it's a home crowd. And he lives in Basel, doesn't he, Seb? I think he does live in Basel. Martin Clancy says, who, Jamie, looks knackered? Djokovic, we were saying, weren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah, Federer was born in Basel, Switzerland.
Right, got you. Martin Clancy says Djokovic is going to make a comeback. I think it's too late. The fact that he's still 3 games behind and he still hasn't broke his serve. Martin, I hope you haven't put your mortgage on this because I think you're going to lose it, mate. I think you're going to be homeless by tonight.
But we see
Who
this at the
knows?
French Open, didn't we, when Djokovic went 2 sets to love down against Tsitsipas? And even in that third set, he wasn't behind by this much. He was actually ahead. So it's stressful times if you're a Novak Djokovic fan at the moment.
Well, here we go then. Medvedev to serve, and if this is to try and get it to 5-1. We have seen comebacks before in tennis. It's not like he can't do it yet, but the way I've seen Djokovic play, he doesn't look 100%. And it's just the fact that he still hasn't broken a serve from Medvedev, despite the breakpoint opportunities he has had early on in this match. But it's a good start. Djokovic gets the forehand past Medvedev towards the left. So it's still 15. And you can hear a bit of a cheer in the crowd. I think some obviously want Djokovic to win a 21st Grand Slam, but to also just see a bit more of a battle here, really. But Medvedev... Medvedev with that ace just then just went, yeah, you can celebrate that one moment, folks, but I'm going to make sure that it ends there. 30.
I haven't seen Roy Wilshire there, have we?
No.
5 double faults now.
15-30. Please.
Dave Deadpool says, God, I so much hope Novak's going to do Solfin. Seb also says, when isn't sure, but Basel is where he wants it to end.
30 all.
all. God, even when he plays a fault, he's so close to making an ace.
Just small margins.
Well, I said this would be Medvedev in 5 sets. At the moment, it's going to be straight sets.
And I said Medvedev in 4 sets.
So if anything, Kara's closer. And Djokovic hits the net. And Medvedev's a point away to being 1 game away from his first ever Grand Slam.
40-30.
Look at the backhand, unforced errors in this set. 6 for Djokovic, 1 for Medvedev. So if anything, Medvedev wants to carry on playing like that.
There's not really much he needs to change with his game right now, especially being ahead in the third set, 4-1. About to go 5-1.
And Djokovic's return is no good. Hits the net. And he's 1 game away. A Russian is very close to winning on US soil. Not an easy thing for the US to take sometimes when it comes to sports or politics. But we're very close to seeing a US Open being won by a Russian again.
Yeah, the last, I think we've established the last male to do it was Marat Safin, but the last Russian champion was Sharapova.
Rod Laver can breathe again, maybe. He might be still the last man to have won the calendar Grand Slam. 15 love. Just shows how good Rod Laver was back in the 70s.
I hope I'm not about to say this person's name wrong, but Kinzuk Sakar says, what happened with Djokovic today?
Wow, I think he's tired. I think he's tired, but also the fact that you've got a very determined Medvedev who's learned a lot in the last few months. That ATP Finals win when we saw it last year, Medvedev needed that, and sometimes it can either be a turning point or a crack. And I think for Medvedev, it's definitely been a turning point.
He's had a great season though, and up until this year, he'd never won a match on clay, and he got all the way to the quarterfinals at the French Open. Finals at Aussie Open.
I mean, look at what Seb True's saying here. He says, how can you win your first Grand Slam by beating one of the greatest ever in straight sets, while Djokovic is aiming for a perfect Grand Slam calendar? Good God. But it's Medvedev. It's been coming. I've said this for the last few months. Medvedev Grand Slam has been coming. No idea where, but it's here.
30 all.
You can just feel it, can't you? That he is destined to win a slam.
But I get what you're saying, Seb. A straight sets win, you don't see that very often. I think the last time I
especially
saw
against Djokovic.
I think the last time I saw Djokovic lose a straight set final in a Grand Slam
40,
was
30.
Murray
at
2013?
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murray 2013, yeah. Medvedev has got 3 aces in this third set. Djokovic has just got his first one there. He's held the serve though, 5-2, but it's all pressure on Medvedev now. He's serving for the championship, which we saw Raducanu do yesterday, and it was a bit of a nervous game to
Medvedev
watch
leads 5
as us two are
against 2.
Brits. And it was a big
And 2
moment,
sets to
but
nil.
she won it with an ace. And in the words of Tim Henman, an ace will do right now, but in the words of Bas Becker, any point will do.
Any point will do.
If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button. Give us a like, especially if you're enjoying it. We do a lot of sport watch-alongs. We do tennis, we do MotoGP, F1, football, rugby, cricket, coming up with the T20 World Cup next month. All sorts of sports. And if there's any sports events or any sports they'd like us to cover, let us know in the live chat page and we can look into that. I mean, Seb's saying here, Grand Slam has been coming, but not so emphatically. Well, Medvedev, I feel like Medvedev turned a corner and got himself on the map and the rankings map 2 years ago, which was even before the US Open final against Nadal, because that whole summer Medvedev loved America and Canada. He just went and won all these tournaments throughout the summer, and he wasn't getting anything wrong. And because of his form, he took that into the US Open and he was like a train. No one could stop him. Got to the final, led 2 sets to love, and just somehow, as you'd expect, someone like Rafael Nadal with all that experience and pedigree, he turned it round and won under the lights at Arthur Ashe. And I think for Medvedev, I think that was a setback for him. But then winning the ATP finals last year made me think Medvedev's getting back to what he was like in 2019. And I think now we're starting to see all that hard work is being paid off.
It's a reminder, isn't it, that he is good enough.
Players are ready.
Yes.
Thank
That
you.
he can win.
I mean, look. I mean, we watched Medvedev. We did a watch long for Medvedev earlier this week against Dan Evans. Yes, it was only Dan Evans, but you know, he just played it so comfortably. Straight set win, simple as that.
Dan Evans has got to be feeling better now. He knows that the guy who beat him has ended up getting to the final and could possibly win.
Round 15.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Medvedev's just done an ace down the middle, 15 all, 3 points away.
15 all.
16th ace is that now from Medvedev? Yeah, it is 16 aces.
I mean, the fact that 16 aces is 16 points, you know, I know that's an easy thing for me to say, but 16 points, that's a lot of points from just aces.
It's a lot of free points.
Yes.
And I think the serve has been key from the final for Medvedev today.
Oh, 15-30, a double fault there from Medvedev. And I've just noticed that Djokovic has changed his top. He was wearing a blue top, now he's wearing a white polo Lacoste top with a blue strip in the middle, with a bit of green in there as well. Mar Francesco says, looks like it's going to be Medvedev. It's 30 all at the moment. Nice forehand from Medvedev. Rally continues though. Oh, has he hit that long? He has. And it's a championship point for Medvedev. This could be it. Can he do it in one go?
30.
Can he do it with an ace like Raducanu did last night? It took her 3 championship points. Here we go. The biggest moment of Medvedev's career is potentially about to happen here. Still crowds cheering, which is just delaying his serve here. Come on.
Please.
Shut up.
Both players are ready, please.
Oh, I'd hate that. If I'm the one serving, I'd hate that.
Even if they were cheering for me, I'd hate it.
Yeah. Oh, come on, let him play. Just do it. Oh, just hit it wide there. Oh, we'll have to try again. Oh, it's a double fault. Back to Juice. It's always a nerve-wracking moment at championship point, especially when they're serving.
And especially from 2 sets to love 5-2, 40-30. That's very close.
He's hit it wide there. We'll have to try it again. That's a fault again from Medvedev.
Please.
And it's a double fault. He's hit the net again. Oh dear. Medvedev, what are you doing, man? As the crowd got to him.
As the occasion got to him.
So break points won. Djokovic has still not lost. Has still not won a break point. And he has. He's won a break point.
Well, if he was going to do something, it was now that he needed to act.
2 double faults in a row, though, by Medvedev. Now that is nerves kicking in.
I think he realised what he was doing when he was serving to win his first ever Grand Slam against possibly the best player of all time.
Could this turn things around? He'd still need to break his serve again, let's not forget. Still a lot for Djokovic to do. And he knows he has to play better.
Even if Djokovic wins this service game, Medvedev still hasn't the chance to serve it out.
Martin Clancy says, told you, Jamie. Come on, mate. He hasn't gone anywhere near him yet in this match. It's about time he won a break point. It's taken him 3 sets.
And that was his first one. His first conversion.
Bradley
Djokovic
Cooper.
is 1 from 6 on break points.
Bradley Cooper and Brad Pitt are enjoying this. I think they want to see more tennis.
Thank you.
I think that shirt change to Djokovic a world of good.
Yeah.
Surprised I haven't seen a bathroom break yet, though.
Oh, it's back at 15 all. Djokovic smacks the ball in the air and it lands outside the court.
15-all.
Martin Clancy says Djokovic wins all day.
Oof. But if he does win, he's got to win another. He's got to win this set and another 2. So he's got a lot of work to do.
Well, I said Medvedev 5 sets. I mean,
and I said Medvedev 4 sets, so we could still get there.
Oh, he's hit it long, Medvedev. A bit more likely from Djokovic's service game, at least. Let's not, I mean, in all fairness, there was that moment in Wimbledon 2019, which I hate to bring up, but it was when Federer had 2 championship points and then he lost the match.
Yep. Still not over it.
No, I'm not. I don't think I ever will be.
I remember being on Henman Hill, and when Federer got the first championship point, everybody was screaming.
Oh, were you? Oh, were you there? Were you? Oh.
Yeah, I was on the hill, and then when Djokovic ended up getting championship point, everyone was dead excitement.
So, on the final day, you can still just get a ticket for Henman Hill, can you?
You can probably queue, but on finals, on the final day of the championships, I usually get court 1 tickets for the juniors.
Oh right,
and then that gives you like round entrance as well.
That's cool.
But yeah, usually watch some of the juniors on court 1, maybe a doubles final, and then get resale tickets in the queue for centre court after the final's done.
Djokovic is fist pumping in the air while sitting down. He's loving it, actually, the crowd reception. He feels like he has friends.
Banging on his chest as well.
Yeah. But if there's time for him to turn it around, it's now with Medvedev serving next. So
He's got to
Medvedev
take
serving for
advantage
the
of the
match.
nerve, doesn't he?
What's that, sorry?
He's got to take advantage of the nerves because Medvedev's never been in this position before of being 2-0, championship point up. But Djokovic has.
Yeah.
Djokovic has been in the position like the Federer match at Wimbledon a couple of years ago in the final, championship point down, comes back to win. 2-0 down against Steph Tsitsipas in the French Open, comes back to win.
I love Medvedev. Medvedev just chewing on, staring away. He looks like he's staring at death.
Do you know what? About 20 minutes ago, Novak Djokovic looked exhausted.
Yeah, now he looks like he's all for it.
It looks like he's only been playing for 10 minutes. He looks ready for this. He looks up for it. He wants us to go to 5 sets.
I mean, just imagine if Medvedev went through it again from 2 years ago.
Oh, it would just be heartbreaking for him, wouldn't it?
Well,
To have lost from a 2-0 lead and championship point at 40-30 by 2.
there is a
But
massive,
we're here now.
there's a massive crowd cheer for Novak. They're shouting his name. And I've never heard this reception for Djokovic before.
No. This is probably one of the first times in a long time that the crowd have been 100% for Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, it's like is there like a hate towards Medvedev? I'm confused. Is there something we don't know?
I don't know, maybe it's because Medvedev isn't particularly, I wouldn't say well
known,
known,
maybe?
but he's not one of the top 4, is he? Had it have been Nadal or Federer, it might have been a different story. Or Murray.
15 love.
But I think because of the history that's on the line for Djokovic,
Yeah, good point.
they probably want to see that. And they probably want 5 sets as well.
Martin Clancy just said Novak Vucernovic. That's a good name. And then Seb True says, you know the Cold War, right? I know. You see, this is what I mean. I didn't want to bring it up, but you've brought it up and I know exactly what you mean. Yes, the Cold War between Russia and America. Why can't they just move on? It wasn't even a war. It was just cold. Oh, did Medvedev hit that long? No, I don't think he did. Oof. Oh, Djokovic hits the net. 30 love. Medvedev. Djokovic is fighting for it though. He's not making it look. He's not making it easy for Medvedev. It's a clear attitude towards. You may win the match, but I'll make sure it's the hardest few points that you've ever had to work for.
30 love.
It must be so annoying for Medvedev though, because there's probably a few times in some of these rallies that he thought, oh, I've won this point, and then sees the ball come back over the net.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'd like to see a Medvedev win in front of the US. Just my political agenda. As I say that, Medvedev's hit it long with his backhand there, and it's 30-15.
I just like to see him win because I want to see somebody dethrone Novak Djokovic.
30,
Yeah.
15.
Like what Djokovic has done in this sport is incredible, but I think it's time now that somebody else had a go.
Please.
Seb saying cold because they didn't actually fight. That's my point. No history. It was always a, I'm going to nuke you, you're going to nuke me. Yeah. Anyway, oh, Medvedev, great backhand. Somehow Djokovic got there, but Medvedev has struck it down the left-hand side, and he has a championship point yet again. I think this is championship number 2, with a 2-point gap
40.
as well.
Got
You'd
2
think
chances to do this.
he's got 2 chances to do it. An ace will do, or any point will do. In the words of Boris Becker, he's here in the commentary box with us somewhere. I can't see him, but he keeps turning up. He's done a double fault again. Oh my God! Why can't he serve? Come on, man.
It's a stressful moment, isn't it?
Well, does he have to
Nerves
go
are gonna
crazy?
be-
You know, just make sure it's clean and then just win it on a rally. Championship
I don't
number
think
you,
3.
it's a
gentlemen,
risk it
please.
though.
Once again, thank you.
Would you rather win?
He's done it. He's done it. He's won the championship. He collapses on the ground. It's the most weirdest jump towards the ground, but Medvedev, he doesn't care. A Russian has won the US Open on American soil. Absolutely incredible. A straight set victory over Novak Djokovic as well, and that's nice touch there from Djokovic, going up to him, hugging him and just shaking him a little bit to say, well done, mate, enjoy the moment. The coach is happy, his partner is happy, and Medvedev has won his first ever major championship. A moment of history, a moment for Russia tennis. But the fact that he won in straight sets, we don't see that. Normally Djokovic will at least take you to a 5-setter if he ain't going to win. But it's an absolute big moment for Medvedev. Cara, what are your first thoughts?
Well, it's a big moment for tennis. These two singles finals have been history making. We've got Daniil Medvedev, who on his third attempt has finally won a Grand Slam, and he's just beaten world number 1 and ended the calendar slam for Novak Djokovic.
I think as well the fact that, you know, Medvedev had what happened to him 2 years ago in the final. It's forgotten. Simple as that. It's forgotten. He could have won his first major 2 years ago, but now he's finally got his name on a major trophy. And who knows? Could this be the first of many? Because I do feel he is the actual only one who I think can dethrone the big three.
Yeah, he's got to world number 2 without winning a slam, and he's finally done it. He's been knocking on that door for a while now, since he got to his first final. Didn't have the experience of getting over the line in those big matches when he did, but to finally see him do it now after having so much success this year, this has probably been his best year on the tour by a mile. I don't think he can believe that he's done it.
Yeah, his partner can't believe it. Rod Laver will keep that calendar Grand Slam going for at least another year. That's the one thing that has missed out for Djokovic. It's not just another final defeat. It's also missing out on a calendar Grand Slam. He has held all 4 Grand Slams in the past. He did that in 2016, but not in a calendar year.
No.
So that's the one thing he still hasn't been able to do.
He'll have to try again next year. But like you said earlier, though, Jamie, like, to have got to the final, like, I know Novak Djokovic wants to win. Any player would want to win in the final, but to have got there in the first place, after dropping a set in every match bar 1, it's been a successful campaign. But he lost to a better player on the day, and Medvedev, there's some of these stats. I mean, the double faults kind of crept up at the end there. 16 aces from Medvedev, 9 double faults, which we'll look past. 57% of first serves in. 80% of first percentage win on first serves. So he's had a great run. Well deserved.
I think I love the slow-mo of Medvedev's celebration. He basically hops
like a
and
fish.
Yeah, and then he literally does like the face of, like, oh, I'm done. But that's
Finally.
Medvedev. That's Medvedev in a nutshell. He doesn't really give a shit, but he's so good at tennis. That's what I love about him. We got Martin Clancy saying, good night, Jamie, good night, Cara. I told you, Martin. I told you, didn't I? I told you. I thought Djokovic was coming back. Public Detective says, awesome, the Yanks will hate that. Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. What else have we got? We've also got Sebastian True saying he's only 26. Hamza Al says Medvedev winner. So, yeah, that is pretty much the end of this match. So, just to confirm, folks, the score is below. And each set ends the same. 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 towards Medvedev. Yep, you've seen that correctly. The world number 1 being battered in straight sets by the world number 2. Could that change between now and the end of the season? We'll see. There's still a couple of months or so of tennis left to go in the ATP Tour.
He's got to be favoured for the Tour finals to win that after winning this, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he won it, of course, last year. I remember he beat Djokovic on the way to that final, which I think was in the semis. But I can't remember who he beat in the final. It was it wasn't Rublev. It was Zverev, wasn't it? I can't remember. Well, anyway, we're waiting for the
Dominic Thiem.
Oh, was it Thiem? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're waiting for the trophy ceremony. And someone's got a flag banner out saying, like it or not, Djokovic is the GOAT. While he's still matching, of course, he's still matching 20 Grand Slams with Nadal and Federer. So he doesn't take that 21st Grand Slam. Adam Medhurst says, thanks guys, really appreciated. No worries, Adam. But Adam, if you could send us a free copy of Sims, that would be really appreciated in return of our watch-alongs. I haven't got the latest Sims. Isn't it Sims 5 these days? Seb True says, Dominic Thiem was on Eurosport, coincidentally. Oh, he's trying out the punditry world, is he? Ashutosh Singh asking if Medvedev is number 1 player now. I
don't think he will be.
It's 2,000 points, isn't it? If you win the Grand Slam.
If Djokovic had lost in the French Open final a few months ago, Medvedev would have become world number 1. But Djokovic won the French Open. He won Wimbledon. And I think that's guaranteed him that he's going to be year-end number 1.
Of course, this match concludes the US tour for the tennis world. So I think it's Asia next, isn't it? They go back to Asia. Let me just check what the ATP calendar's like, since this is a men's match today. So it starts on the January this year. That's useless to me now. So yeah, I think mainly pretty much between now and the end of this month at least. We've got the Laver Cup, which is September 24th to the 26th. That'll be an indoor hard court. We've got the San Diego Open. Oh, so sorry. There is a US tournament still later on, but that's a 250 tournament, so you won't see many of the big players at that one. There's the Bulgaria Sofia Open, which is from the 27th to the 3rd of October. Which again, another ATP 250. Actually, the next big tournament in terms of Masters is... Oh no, that's been cancelled. There's a lot of tournaments that have been cancelled. So they've moved the Indian Wells tournament to October. So that, I think I do remember, got cancelled early this year. So that is the next Masters tournament, which is 7th of October to the 17th of October. So that's one tournament to look out for. So, just as I said, the US tour's finished. They're going back quite a few times. how wrong I am.
Just begun.
The calendar's all over the place these days. I have no idea anymore. Thank you very much, COVID. Martin Clancy asked, Jamie, when is your next event? We've got, it's mainly European Cup football this week. We've got the Champions League on Tuesday night with Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. Then on Wednesday night, we've got Inter Milan versus Real Madrid. And on Thursday night, it's Rangers versus Lyon in the UEFA Europa League. So I think tomorrow we have a day off on the channel, and then we'll have another watch along on Tuesday night, as I just mentioned. Oh God, no. Crap. Super chat suggestion from Seb True. I normally get this from Jamie Burgoyne, as Cara has seen recently, saying, Jamie, how much to sing Keep On Moving by 5? $500. Don't pay that. Knowing Seb, he'd still pay that.
We'll do a duet.
Oh God. We've got. Let's get some sound on from this ceremony, shall we?
And now please welcome the future of U.S. tennis, carrying the finalist and Champions Trophy, 12-year-old Caitlin Patricia Yuji from Jersey Shore Tennis Academy, and 12-year-old Yuvi Nigum from the Mary Hill Tennis. Thank
You
you
hear that?
both. To
Yeah.
begin our ceremony, we'd like to recognize the tournament referee, Wayne McEwen, and the chair umpire
Said
for this
continuing Burgoyne's
championship, Damien
tradition.
Demonsoir. Damien, please come forward. It's now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the board and the president of the USTA, Mike McNulty.
Thank you.
Oh, this thing goes on
What a
forever
match.
sometimes.
Daniil, congratulations on winning your first major title.
He's going to get that so many times this week now. He'll be like, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, Seb, no.
And we're thrilled that you did it
I
right
knew he
here in
would.
New York. A
Oh,
remarkable
come on,
we'll
let's
talk
get the
more in a
lyrics
minute
up. Let's
about
get the
that.
lyrics
See not
up.
only one of our sport's all-time greats, but history itself. Tonight,
Eyes keep
we
on
have
moving
proven, you've
lyrics.
proven yourself a true
I don't even know
champion.
the song.
Novak,
It's good. You will know the
you've
song.
accomplished this year throughout your career makes you without question
It's a
one of the
tune.
greatest of all time.
I think we'll watch the end of this ceremony, and then to end this stream, I think we'll the
guess
US
it's-
fives keep on moving.
I guess it's one way to celebrate the end of Grand Slam tennis for this year, maybe.
Seb said he's just messing, but I'm all up for singing five keep on moving.
He says it's just good gesture. Yeah. Actually, Seb's
This
coming
has been
to
a
England this week,
spectacular
hopefully,
US
so
Open.
Ooh.
And tonight's final was the perfect
I'll make sure he gets
ending
absolutely
to
sloshed.
an amazing 2 weeks of tennis. And what has made this US Open a special
Box
Fox
is
has
already
got
joining
involved.
us.
has been having you,
Fox,
the
when you're up,
greatest fans in
when
the
you're
world,
down,
back in New
baby,
York.
take
It's so annoying,
me
so I'd love to play the
down.
music in the background to get into it, but copyright, sadly.
On behalf of the USTA, our 17 sections, our thousands of passionate volunteers, I thank all of you for making the 2021
Yeah, you said this yesterday.
US Open the greatest return. Well played.
Thank you, Mike. Now, ladies and gentlemen, because we
Oh,
cannot
wow,
cheer for
Greg
him
coming
enough,
in with
let's
the
hear it for our final
17,
Oh, blimey,
19.
Greg.
Djokovic.
Thank you very much to Seb and Greg for your generous
Yeah, very kind.
donations towards the channel. We really appreciate that. Is that Djokovic crying? He's never had a reception like this before.
No, I think, yeah, he's crying. Oh.
Novak,
Be interesting to hear what he says. Let's hear what he says.
but my goodness, was this your year? 27 straight victories in major tournament play. You inspired your competitors and you inspired all of us. I'd like you to just take a moment, tell us your thoughts, offer your thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I would like to start off by saying congratulations to Daniil. Amazing, amazing match. Amazing tournament. If there is anyone that deserves the Grand Slam title right now, it's you. So well done. Absolutely. To your team, you have an amazing team. You're one of the greatest guys on the tour. We get along very well. I wish you many more Grand Slams, many more majors to follow. I'm sure that you'll be on this stage in the future again. I was thinking in both scenarios, kind of visualizing myself standing here in front of you guys and what would I say. And I would like to say that tonight, even though I have not won the match, my heart is filled with joy and I'm the happiest man alive because you guys made me feel very special on the court. You guys touch my soul. I've never felt like this in New York. Honestly, I've never felt like this. I love you guys. Thank you so much for support. Everything you have done tonight for me. I love you. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.
To offer Novak the finalist trophy, Mike McNulty.
In all fairness to Djokovic, I don't think he's that upset either, to be honest.
He's taken it well. It's a great speech as well. He can't be too disappointed. He's had a great season.
Daniil Medvedev.
I think it's still £1 million if he's the runner-up, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
You, we have some questions for. Let's begin with congratulations. You're a major champion. It's a long way from 2 years ago when you lost 5 sets to Nadal here and you said you would grow and you would learn. What did it take to come back 2 years later and take this title?
Well, first of all, I think it's the first time I'm so nervous saying my speech. I mean, first of all, I want to say sorry for you fans and Novak, because I mean, we all know what he was going for today. And I just want to say that, I mean, anyway, as you said, what you accomplished this year and throughout your career, I never said this to anybody, but I'll say it right now. For me, you are the greatest tennis player in the history.
Oh, he said it. I mean, I'd have to agree with him.
Hard not to stats like Djokovic's.
Dasha, Oliver, Gilles, Francisca, those who are watching, Jan, Eric, my parents, my family, my sisters, I mean all my friends, who some of them are here, some of them are watching this. Just thank you guys, because it's not easy journey to win a slam, but I'm really thankful to you and for helping me throughout this journey. thank you guys. I mean, today maybe was a little bit more for Novak, but that's completely understandable again. And throughout the week, you gave me a lot of energy, starting from 2019, long ago. It helped me till today. It was not easy, but thanks a lot, guys. Last but not least, I wanna finish my speech on a very sweet note. It's it's a third anniversary for me and my wife.
All right.
And you know, during the tournament, I couldn't think of a present or anything. So then, when I went in the final, after semis, I thought, okay, if I lose, I need to find the present fast. And when I won, the only thing I thought, well, if I lose, I have no time to have a present, so I have to win this match. I love you, Dasha, and I mean, thanks a lot.
That's very sweet.
Very, very last thing, only legends will understand. What I did after the match is L2 plus left. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Daniil. And we have terrific news for you and your shopping and your wife's lovely present to hand you a prize check for $2.5 million. Brian Lamb, Global Head of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, representing JP Morgan Chase.
Thank you. Should I open it or?
You just asked the guy from JP Morgan, do I open the envelope? And they're like, no, God, don't lose the check. Not bad to pick up the trophy from Stan Smith. Stan Smith has always looked the same, even when he was a player. And that's pretty much it. He lifts the trophy in front of a full-packed Arthrash Stadium. And how many times will he lift a Grand Slam trophy in his career? Well, he's 26, so he's still got plenty of time left, that's for sure. And I think the question is, can he win more? I think before we wrap it up, Cara, how do you feel about it? What do you think's next? Because for Djokovic, he'll certainly watch this match back and try and learn from it, because if Medvedev plays like that against him again, he's got to have a game plan for it, otherwise he'll be in trouble.
Yeah, he's had a couple of tough losses these last couple of weeks with the Olympics and now the final of the US, the title that he needed for the calendar Grand Slam. So he'll probably go away from this, take some time, and then come back for the Aussie Open in January and see if he can successfully defend and maybe go for the calendar slam next year. He's still yet to do it, but it's Novak Djokovic, he is the greatest player of all time. Whether you love him or you hate him, you can't argue with what he's done in tennis and what he's continuing to do in the sport. So definitely not the last one for Novak Djokovic, and certainly not Daniil Medvedev either.
And we said 2-3 years ago when we used to do our show at Can FM that we were starting to expect Djokovic to beat the record. He hasn't yet, it's still level, but he's very close. He's probably the most likely out of the three of him, Nadal and Federer, to win the next Grand Slam, which if it is going to be back to its normal calendar next year, it'll be the Australian Open in January. So no more majors until then. And of course that means between now and the end of the season is the race to Milan for the ATP finals for the top 8 ranking players in men's tennis come November. And of course there's the Laver Cup at the end of this month. We've got a couple of Masters tournaments still to be played as well. So a lot of tennis still to look forward to on the ATP Tour calendar. And I'm sure me and Cara will be back to try and cover as much tennis as we can here on Let's Talk Sport. If you haven't yet, click that subscribe button, give us a like. If you love your tennis, come back here for our watch-alongs in the future. We've also do football, Rugby Union, F1, MotoGP, golf. you name it, we do quite a lot, even women's football as well. So plenty of sports to look forward to here on Let's Talk Sports. It's been a mad day. We started it off with MotoGP, F1, Serie A, and now the US Open. It's been a long day here for Let's Talk Sport, and I think we need a sing-song, don't we? Now, Greg has actually sent us a message, and so Seb, because it looks as though they were going to start a bidding war while we were listening to the interviews of Medvedev and Novak Djokovic. And thanks very much to both of them. Seb True sent us some francs, which is from Switzerland, and some pounds from Greg Livingston. So we'd really appreciate the support. And Greg actually put a lovely message to say, right, Jamie, I am way enjoying your super chat. You and everyone has helped with last 18 months with lockdown. Thank you so much, mate. And F1 and Cara as well. Well, thank you, Greg, for watching us this whole time. We really appreciate your support. Right, what was I going to say? We got Connor Porter on. Hello, Connor. He says, just voted for Medvedev to win. Got it right. Technically, I should have ended the poll. That's my fault. That is my fault. Actually, I will end it now. Let's end the poll. It still pretty much was Djokovic majority throughout this whole watch along. Even before we went live, it was Djokovic at 69%, was it? We're just waiting for the results. Yes, it was. Yeah. Medvedev at 30% after 321 votes. And, well, Cara and I got it right. Cara didn't get it right with the sets, neither did I. I said Medvedev would win in 5 sets. You said Medvedev would win in 4 sets. So Cara wins because she's closer. But she kept saying Raducanu wouldn't win this week. So, you know, what does Cara really know, if you know what I mean?
Nothing. I've never even watched tennis before this week.
Yeah, I saw your nose get bigger when you said that. Anyway, we are going to, well, I guess we've got to do it, haven't we, Cara? I think we've got to do it if people are paying us to do it. I think we should do Sweet Caroline.
Okay, let me just get the lyrics up.
Now, yes, I better get the lyrics up as well. Bear with us a moment.
I definitely know the chorus.
This is that's the only bit I know. We'll do a section. We won't do the whole song. I haven't got a voice for that.
We're gonna do verse, pre-chorus, chorus, or we're gonna do just chorus.
I think it makes sense to do Sweet Caroline as well because we saw Emma Raducanu sing to Sweet Caroline when she won last night, which has been a trend, I believe. Let me just try and find the lyrics.
Tell me which part you're going from, and then we'll do a countdown, and then we'll...
Oh, God. Here we go. I have done one. I did one with Stuart here once, and we did Life is a Roller Coaster.
Oh, but my God, what a tune.
It was Stuart's Na 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 Na. That was beautiful. My bit was just terrible. Right. We can't play the song, folks, because sadly that'll be down to copyright, unfortunately. Is it me, or does Jim Courier and Tim Henman have a fantastic back shot?
They do. It's lovely. Lovely back shot.
Oh. Right. Where do we go?
Where are we going from? Are we going from where it began, or...?
I'm trying to think, like, why is the lyrics bit so small? Right, I think we should start from the start.
Yeah, let's go verse, pre-chorus, chorus. I think I'm ready.
Alright, okay.
Give us a countdown.
I'll tell you what, should we take it in turns?
What, like to sing a line?
Per line, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to start? Okay, I'll start. Okay. It's going well. Okay. Where it began.
I can't begin to know when.
But then I know it's growing strong.
Was in the spring.
And spring became the summer.
Who'd have believed you'd come along?
Hands. Touching hands.
Reaching out. Touching me. Touching you.
Sing along if you know the words. Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba.
Good times never seem so good.
I've been inclined
To believe they never would. That sounded terrible.
So good. So good. Shoot.
Loved it. That was terrible, folks. We do apologise. But it's a good way to celebrate the end of the Grand Slam season. So it started off with Djokovic winning the Australian Open. He won the French and he won Wimbledon, but he didn't win the US Open. It is the last laugh from Daniil Medvedev. Thanks again to Cara Davies for her help this week, especially throughout this week of the US Open tournament, mainly with Raducanu, but it is wrapped up with a Medvedev win. A win for Russia, a win for Medvedev, and it is going to be a tough one to take for Novak Djokovic, as his calendar Grand Slam attempt has been blown up, sadly. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Thanks to Cara. Thanks to you lot at home. If you haven't yet, do subscribe, give us a like, and we will see you very, very soon. Good night, everyone, and well done to Daniil Medvedev.